They would wear that as a badge of pride. I'm a cracker.
Give her up.
Like I'm really a Floridian. Yeah. You know,
Yes, sir.
and you are really a Floridian.
I am. Yes,
But I was an honorary. I was there 5 years. I went to school there, stayed there, worked there. So actually more than 5 years. Actually, when you think about college.
Where at?
Oh, I just started college there. I ended up in New York, but I went to Miami-Dade, that giant community college. But I have to tell you, it got me started. There's 2,000 students. I don't even know what it is. I like it. I mean, they really did all right for me, and to get me ready for the next two. I was of the belief that the first 2 years of college is almost a throwaway. I mean, that if you go to a great college, you better do well, otherwise you're wasting a lot of money. And sometimes kids need to just settle it, and then transfer out. Really, the first 2 years doesn't mean much, but because if you graduate from a good school, I think everyone just remembers that. But anyway, I lived in Hollywood for a while. Then I moved after college. I went back to Europe, came back and worked in Fort Myers, and I lived in Bel Air Bluffs. And I went to Tampa, lived in the Tampa area, and then came out here eventually. But I love Tampa area. I absolutely love it. I do. I would live there now. That is a beautiful, beautiful area. Beautiful. I don't know if it still is, but man, I loved it because I could go on vacation and be in Cuba by just going down to Ybor City. I could be. I mean, it had everything. It had a lot of culture, a lot of different diversity. I really liked it. Do you like it? Do you like Tampa area?
It's nice. It's pricey.
Yeah, see, Jacksonville is more like. I mean, Jacksonville's nice. I love St. Augustine. I love the island. What's the island?
There's St. George Island.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yes, and then there's another one. But I love going out there. That was like you're on a.
You'll get a text
You're on vacation, bro. It really was a world of its own.
We have the same 3 states in common too. I served in the Army in New York.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Oh my goodness, I'm Tom Martino here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and making your life just a little easier. All you have to do is give me a call, okay? And that's how easy it is. A lot of people are confused by the show. They say, hey, Tom, what the hell you do? People new in town. They hear this and they say, what's this guy? What is he talking about? What we talk about, news you can use, let's put it that way, issues, everyday aches and pains, the things that make you tick, the things that tick you off. And I always pride myself in saying I don't get political or religious, and I don't. And people get so mad at me when they think I'm doing that. It's really funny. Just yesterday, for example, I've been on the air here in Denver 38 years, and on TV for 32 of those. I'm not on full-time TV now, and but I do some commercials and stuff and some presentations. But yesterday I said something, and I got a lot of email. Well, not a lot. But I got enough email that I thought, I said, a very simple statement. One guy called and said something about he thought Barack Obama had the intention, the purposeful intention of destroying the country, of tearing it apart, causing division. Now, people mistook what I said as support for Obama. It wasn't. By the way, I thought Obama did some very good things and some very bad things, and I think Trump did some very good things and some very bad things. In fact, I am a very boring person politically because I don't adhere to a tight ideology. I honest to God look at issues. Now, I tend to go back and forth depending on the issue, but I just want to make something very clear. I wasn't saying Obama was the greatest president of all time. I wasn't saying Trump is not. I wasn't saying Trump is. Here's what I'm saying. I don't think I should have clarified. I don't think any president ever that I know has, and this is not political, right? I mean, I'm not talking about politics. I don't think any president ever had the intent of destroying America, ever. I think that is political paranoia, and I think it's ridiculous. I know it's cool to get people rallied when you say things like that, but truly, no matter how much I love or hate what a president does, I never think that they have the intent of destroying America. I think that's absolutely ridiculous, so I stand by it. But I'm not just saying Obama. I don't think any president ever wanted to destroy America. I just don't. Now, I think sometimes what they do or could do could destroy America, but I don't think that's their intent. I mean, I think Obama's world globalist view is shared by a lot of people. Not me, but a lot of people. They don't want to put one country ahead of another. They want to see us all get along. Now, they don't necessarily want to drop the borders. They want to see just a unified world where people get along, and you don't think America is better than anyone else. Well, I'm of the opinion that America is a bit better, and that we have a lifestyle and a freedom that cannot be matched anywhere. I don't want to get into that, and I don't want to get into Republican or Democrat. What I want to say is, I don't think any politicians have the intent of destroying America. Well, I shouldn't say any politicians. I should say any presidents. I mean, I imagine there are a lot of people running for certain parties, whether it be communist, socialist, or radical white supremacists, or whatever it is, on the left and right, that probably hate the way the system is and they want wholesale changes. Let me get to the phones, okay, people? But I don't mind discussing anything. And I got a lot of letters about the aviation thing I said. I said aviation, the industry, is deplorable, and even though I'm amazed we have the safety record we do. And with airlines, the airlines are wonderful, but I'm talking about that general aviation is deplorable. That's up to you get to about, flying jets for corporations. In between there, the touring, the tourist, and all of that. Because there is no standardization of getting into it. Everyone gets into it a different way. It's not like going to medical school. It's not like being a doctor. There are requirements for ratings, but no standards. No standardization of procedure. Now, enough of that. I just wanted to bring that up, because whenever I get a lot of feedback, I know it hits a nerve. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What's on your mind today? Rick, what's going on with you? Let's talk. And then Christina, and Josh, we got it. Let's go. Rick, what's going on?
Well, we bought a house in 1992 that was built in 1962.
92, built in 62. Gotcha, bro.
Correct.
What happened?
Well, several of our neighbors have had their sewer line going from their house to the street replaced in the last couple years.
Oh, almost every home built.
Yeah.
Almost every home. If you have clay or cast iron, you will eventually face this.
Yeah. And so we're getting kind of nervous about that, and we're thinking about getting insurance, sewer insurance, sewer line insurance for that. And our homeowner's policy has a deal that we can tack onto the insurance. I think it's about $20 a year. But they want to know how old, are the pipes the original pipes?
Rick, I've heard of sewer line insurance, all of it, okay?
Yeah.
Let me explain a few things. I have never seen one. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I've never seen an actual policy that is worth it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Usually, pre-existing conditions are excluded, and only catastrophic failure. It's not for wearing out. You have to really look at the policy, because most of this, what is a catastrophic failure of sewer? It is a truck or somebody's working backhoes and they crush it, or diastrophism, or earth movement as they call it, that's actually earth movement, and technically it's called diastrophism, but where things shift, or rains that cause the shifting, sinking, but not normal wearing out, not tree roots. There's a lot of things not covered. So I'm telling you, you have to be very, very careful. Okay. And so, Rick, I say the best thing is preventive care. You have people like Plumline, for example. they do 93 or free, okay? What that means is, if ever you have a slow drain or a drain that, they'll go in and clear it for 93 bucks, and if they can't, it's free, and not only is it free, they tell you exactly what's wrong. I caution you when it comes to sewers. There are more rip-offs. When it comes to plumbing, the main rip-offs are in the drain and sewer industry when it comes to plumbing, because drains are unknown and hidden. They have cameras. They go in and say this is wrong or that is wrong, and we have a lot of bad people in the drain business, a lot of them. That's why I tend to go to people that I know and trust, and I say preventive care, and if you do have to replace it, there are all kinds of options these days. Yeah. There's something called pipe bursting. They don't have to even dig up anymore, except 2 holes at each end.
Really?
In some cases, they can run something through the existing pipe, inflate it, burst it, and it's in place. They have all kinds of different things. They have ways to pull pipe through, but in worst case scenario, how many feet are we talking about?
Oh, it'd probably be about 50, 60 feet.
Ooh, that will be expensive.
Yeah.
But here's what I say, Rick. Let's let one of my insurance or experts or insurance attorneys look at the policy. That's the only thing I care about, is if you buy a policy that it covers you. So I'm going to answer your question. I think sewer line insurance would be excellent if they replaced it due to old age and failure due to that. Okay?
Okay.
I think it'd be excellent. Did you read the policy?
Oh, no, we haven't. I just called my insurance agent yesterday and talked to his assistant.
Let's get Compass on. You know what? I do want to talk to Compass Insurance. They're our insurance experts. I'd love to ask them. I'm going to let you, you can just hang up and listen, but I'm going to ask them, and you can take what they say to the bank. So hang on. 303-713-TALK.
This report is sponsored by...
All right, Tom, across town, starting to ease up a bit. Good news off highway, that earlier crash at Leetsdale and Forest, that's been cleared out of the way, so good news there. Just a few slow spots in the
So you're from Jacksonville, and
between 144th and 128th.
how far is St. Augustine?
I'm from Tallahassee.
Oh, you said, why did I say Jacksonville? Oh, Tallahassee is way over.
Yeah.
I love the Panhandle. It's beautiful. Now, I did a flight in my plane years ago from Denver down there, and I hit the coast over in Alabama and went across and all the way down. Man, Tallahassee is beautiful. So Tallahassee is completely different than Jacksonville. Tallahassee is truly a southern town.
The big small.
Hold on one second. Centeno Schultz, remember the name. If you want living stem cell therapy, Centeno Schultz. If you're in pain, misery, shoulders, elbows, backs, knees, Centeno Schultz have done thousands and thousands of living stem cell therapies to avoid surgery. But here's the good news. They are doctors, MDs, who can do orthopedic procedures, not just stem cells. If you are not a candidate, they'll tell you. And in fact, if you need surgery, they'll tell you. You should be evaluated there first. And avoid chiropractors who are peddling stem cells. I don't know of one chiropractor, not one, who has living stem cells. If they ship the fluid in, it's not living, it's not viable. And they have nurses doing the injections without guidance. Please go to Centeno Schultz for more information, please, before you waste money. TheStemCellExperts.com, 303-963-9201.
Courtney Pierce, president of Buy and Build Incorporated. After 15 years.
Joe Lazare along.
I want to get Ideal on for the third hour. Does he have a spot? Can we switch him to third and get him on because their leads are light?
Come in now and save. We have a huge inventory of...
Does that set well okay with you, Suzanne? Okay.
10 seconds, Joe Lazare along.
Deep discounts on all sorts of home improvement items now until the end of May. Hurry in for the best selection. 4800 Washington Street. Or online at buyandbuild.net.
I just get an email from a listener, and he pulls over after drinking a lot, right? He thinks, I'm going to be smart. He pulls over and falls asleep. And he says, I'm going to just stay here until morning. He gets up in the morning. He gets behind the wheel, drives. He gets stopped. And you know what they say? You're drunk. He still had enough alcohol in his blood, even though he thought he slept it off. So Joe Lazara can defend him. Now, I don't know what will happen, but Joe Lazara will take a look at anyone, whether you're just plain guilty and stupid, or whether you tried to calculate blood alcohol, or whether you made a dumb mistake, or maybe you're falsely accused. Joe Lazara, criminal defense attorney, Lazara, two Z's, one R, LazaraLegal.com, 303-429-6200. He does flat rate pricing. That means flat rates on everything, so he doesn't nickel and dime you. 303-429-6200.
If you sell a home for $500,000,
I'm glad you gave me 10 because I forgot to start the timer.
If you guessed $25,000 to $30,000, you're right. But if you think that's the only way, you're wrong. This is why thousands of homeowners are making the switch to Rex. With Rex, you get a dedicated agent and a
So how do you advertise? What do you do?
The cost.
We
Rex uses
pretty much just
technology to cut
Google.
out the middleman and save homeowners tens of thousands of dollars in fees. See if you qualify by calling 833-REX-HOME. That's 833
That's okay.
REX.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Remember,
If
this
you
is
can or
your
whatever.
home. Why give an insane amount?
Tell him I can start doing a few lives.
This is the banner, so just let you know,
On service.
whoa, that's the camera, when you talk, stuff will pan over on you, and that's your banner, does that look okay?
By calling
Okay,
833
very good, and that's you, that'll be you right there.
Rex.
That's it.
That's
But,
833.
so when you talk,
DRE license,
it's gonna be over on
19760. Minimum fee applies.
You're looking good.
You have crooked teeth and only want to deal with them. There is a way to do that. Dr. Kent Lawson has pioneered new orthodontics for adults. Straighten your teeth, widen your palate, take care of jaw alignment, help you with TMJ, stop sleep apnea with natural
Bellagio
veneers.
just entered the race.
Veneers or less, way cheaper than getting a mouthful of veneers. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ,
23 Democrats
303-690-0100.
run for president.
303-690-0100.
That was more than I thought it was, a lot with Republicans did.
They made such a big deal out of the Republicans.
Having so many.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so many now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, 5 to 10.
Kind of funny.
If Denver's talking about it, you'll hear it on 630 KHOW.
Super Frank. Iron Frank. I'm trying to think of a superhero name for Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Iron Frank. Spider Frank. Duran Frank. Spider Duran. Hey, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. My superhero. He's handling a real estate transaction for me right now, two of them. He's handling them for Suzanne and Mark. They love him. I love him. Everyone does. Everyone loves the man. Be part of that winning record, okay? 303-920-1622 if you're buying or selling real estate. Okay, let's talk to Compass. I want to ask him a question. Compass Insurance Group, our insurance experts, Jeremy is with him. And Jeremy, hey man, so, you know, this guy calls and he says, I'm thinking of buying coverage for my sewer line. And I don't think he means sewer backups, although that is a coverage you can get. I'm not talking about sewer backups. We're talking about the sewer line. He says a lot of people in his neighborhood, they have old homes built in the 60s, and they're having their sewer line replaced. Now, I've heard of sewer line coverage, but do they just cover it because it's old? First of all, do you know about this coverage?
Yeah, so companies are starting to, it's always notoriously not being covered under a homeowner's policy.
Of course
so
not. Right.
Supplement policies out there, but as far as the homeowners, well, companies are starting to offer it, homeowners insurance.
I want to know if it's worth it, Jeremy. For example, if I just have a home built in the 60s and the thing is just plain worn out and it's, you know, it's just broken or whatever, what does it cover, or what, more importantly, what are the exceptions?
Sure, and those might vary from company to company. I could speak of the ones that we represent.
That's what I want to do. What are the good ones?
Yeah, if you have a sewer line, they call it service line coverage. Is the
right,
technical
that's
term.
right.
But yeah, if it, you know, old 60s line that breaks down, trees get into it, there's really not much that it covers the actual digging up the yard.
Come on, man. So wait, do they do an inspection in order to do it? I mean, what's to prevent, I don't know, like abuse of this thing?
Sure. They don't. I mean, the caveat would have to be obviously you had an issue after, you know, you had the coverage. But no, they're not running a sewer scope or anything before you qualify. And it's I mean, with one of our companies, like $15 a year.
Are you kidding me? So you're saying, Jeremy, it's a good thing?
Absolutely.
Now,
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Rick,
most
if you're
companies
listening,
don't offer it
I
yet.
want Rick to call Compass Insurance Group because I want him to just look at all of his insurance. I just don't want everyone to think I'm going to buy it now because they are contractual agreements, and you can trust Compass to say, don't buy this one, buy this one, because I'm afraid, Jeremy, some of these don't cover anything.
Historically, that's been some of the issues
Yes.
with some of the supplements. They don't fall under the insurance regulations, and you know, I don't know a ton about those, but that's always been the complaint I heard.
Yeah.
This is part of your homeowner's insurance.
303-996-9000. Now, on a side note, save me a phone call. I'm for real, Jeremy. I'm transferring insurance from one dwelling to another. I just want to tell you guys, please tell Brian I need to talk to him. So this is real life. I use Compass like I use everyone on my list. So thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay,
Thanks,
so
Tom.
sewer line coverage, folks. Listen to this. Sewer line coverage. He's saying there are some good ones. Now let's introduce another good guy, Hank Spivey. Is it Spivey or Spivey? Spivey. I like Spivey better. No, Hank Spivey, he hails originally, listen to Tallahassee, Florida. And he has a bug control company, or a pest control called Why You Buggin'. I love it. Why You Buggin'. I really like that. Did your kid name that? Where'd you get that name?
I got that name from a old song from the 1980s that Run DMC put out. It was called Mary Mary.
Find that song. Okay? I want to find that song. Why You Buggin' Pest Control. And you're on the referral list. Now, are you only in the Springs area?
We are based in the Springs, and we service the entire Pikes Peak area.
Okay, that's cool. We got a big audience down there. Why You Buggin' Pest. Why You Buggin' Pest.com. Why, as in W-H-Y, U, the letter U, Buggin', Pest.com. While I love the name of the company, the URL's a little hard because when people hear Y, they wonder, is it the word Y or the letter Y? When they hear U, they wonder, is it the word U or is it the letter U? And when they hear buggin', is it buggin' or bugging? And I'm not chastising you here. I'm giving you some advice. And anybody listening, try to avoid double meanings, like the number 4, or is it F-O-R, or is it the digit 4? You know, like when you do URLs, like even 2. You know, is it the number 2? Is it T-O or is it T-O-O? So many people have problems with that. Anyway, Mark just walked in, my partner. He's here. He wasn't here before, and I didn't mention it because I knew he'd be in any moment, but he is actually using Simply Floors this morning, and he was meeting him at the house. I swear to you, we use everyone on our list. Everyone. Let's talk to Christy. Christy, what's going on?
Well, I went to Long Ford down here in Colorado Springs to buy a used vehicle back at the end of March at the World Arena when they were having a sale.
Okay.
And they told me and my fiance that we were pre-approved. I got the insurance all situated on the weekend, picked up the truck on Monday, had the truck up until yesterday when they decided to tell us that they could not finance us. There wasn't a bank to finance us. They took our truck.
Now listen, Christy, I want to say something. I don't know why I'm getting an echo. Are you on a headset?
No, hold on. I had you on speaker. And
Well, I don't want you to do anything dangerous if you're driving. I can put you...
I'm not driving. My friend's driving.
Okay. I just want to try to keep it off the speaker if we can. I want to tell you something about this. This is very common with dealers. They tell you everything's approved. They call you back and say, uh-oh, we can't get you approved. You got to bring the truck back and sign a new contract. And then that's the problem. That is crap when they do that. And here's the deal. I want to make something very clear. I'm just going to place you on hold, but I'll come right back to you because I don't want to hear that. Here's the deal, and I've said this to people. Listen carefully. When you enter into a transaction at a dealer and they tell you they're going to get you financed, and then they call you back and say they can't get you financed, and you have to sign a new deal, you often end up with a completely different deal, something that you would have never accepted to begin with. But because you now have the truck, you sometimes take it. Just one sec. And then, listen to this. In some cases, we've helped consumers because the dealer, in their arrogance, they make a mistake in the paperwork. And even though they think they're promising to finance, they actually have put themselves out there as the creditor, that they are financing it. You have agreed, they have approved you, they've given you the car. So they might say, well, we can't, sell this loan to anyone, we can't get you financed. You could say, technically, oh, you did finance me. I'll just make you the monthly payments. Now, that has happened, and people have been successful in the past. However, it depends on how they make that paperwork. Suzanne?
Well, I think the real problem now is they sold her trade-in, and now she can't get a vehicle. They have no vehicle.
Well, guess what?
What kind of recourse does she have?
First of all, they broke the law by selling the trade before financing was complete.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did.
The projection.
Yeah, they did. So, Christy, they're hoping you don't know this stuff, but they are not supposed to sell that trade until financing is complete.
Yes.
Now, they sold it. However, did you have negative equity in the trade, or did you actually have a trade worth something?
I gave them the truck, which they gave me $500 credit for, and $500 cash.
Okay, so that truck was old?
It was a 99.
Okay, so it was paid for, right?
Yes.
Okay, I get you. They gave you $500. They probably wholesaled it out. So, what do they want you to do right now?
Well, when we went in yesterday, they called us in like we were coming in to finish up the paperwork, said nothing about not being able to finance us. Once we got there, they told us they had to have the truck back. If we left with the truck, they would call the police and report it stolen.
Well, they're wrong, because that would have been a civil matter. So, did you leave the truck?
I left the truck because I was upset and I was scared and I had no idea what to do.
So what do they expect you to do right now?
That's not their problem. That's what I was told.
Well, hold on.
When I said,
at the very least,
work tomorrow,
Christy,
not our problem.
Christy, at the very least, they at least owe you that the second half, the $500 they applied to that car. What did they say they were they going to give you that extra $500?
No, they were going to put that towards rental fees for the 40 days that we had the new truck.
No. They have 10 days only to notify you about financing. If they do not make a choice in 10 days, they cannot charge you beyond 10 days of bailment. Mark, can you call them down there, Phil Longford? You need to explain all this to them.
Which one is it?
I think it's in the Springs.
It's that used car, Phil Longford.
They suck, right?
Well, they're not the best.
Listen, I am ashamed of what happened to the Phil Long name. I really am. I mean, that name was an all right name at one time. Who used to run that? Chimino, was it? I don't know. Listen, Christy, I think you've been screwed.
Yeah.
You hang on, okay? Mark is going to call down there.
Okay.
Hold on. Our guest today, Hank Spivey. Why you bugging pest control? Why you bugging?
I like that name.
I know. I like it too. I like it a lot. And
is it just bugs, though, or do you do, like, vermins, too?
Vermins, listen.
We do some trapping, yes, sir.
And so, listen, if you have questions on getting rid of pests, let me know. In Colorado, what are the worst pests? What are they? What do you come across? You've been around 10 years.
Children.
No, what?
The number one pest we deal with is mice and ants, I would say.
Really? Mice?
Absolutely mice. Wintertime, that's pretty much our business solely, and then it keeps us busy during the summertime as well.
What's the best and most effective way? Tell us right after this.
The presence of the cat.
Don't switch that real quick. Oh, I need your...
City Drive right now. Just got word from CDOT, northbound E470, the ramp to South Parker Road. That off-ramp is closed for a couple of hours there. You'll have to use an alternate route, so just be aware of that. For the most part, the drive across town has improved quite a bit over the past half hour. A little bit of delay on southbound I-25 just north of the I-70 interchange. Heavy between the interchange and 58th. Westbound I-70, stop and go in the elevated portion. And 270 westbound slow approaching approaching Vasquez. The weather forecast going to be mostly cloudy today, a chance of isolated thunderstorms. Warm though, a high of 84. Right now mostly cloudy and 71. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
Put Revive at the top of your shopping list today. Apply Revive now to have the greenest lawn in your neighborhood while saving water and money. Revive's unique formula of powerful wetting agents, soil conditioners, and nutrients makes your lawn greener with less water. Use Revive.
K&H still has this sale going on till the end of the month. You will get 25% off your siding, windows, and doors. Plus, you get a free upgrade to triple pane glass. So not only are you saving on that upgrade, you don't pay for the upgrade, and you're saving the 25%, you're also going to save on energy bills because triple pane means increased efficiency. Now, K&H is a solid company. I've known the owner for 30-some-odd years since he took over, and I knew the previous owner, K&H Home Solutions, and you can reach him and make your own appointment at khwindows.com. I truly know them and trust them. I've had them come back to my home 20 years later to do warranty work. 303-421-7100. Now, when I say make your own appointment, it truly is. You can book it right there, and they'll show up with everything you need to make a choice. khwindows.com.
I'm Angela Aronella, Fire for Toys at Party.
What did he said yesterday? Also $100 off.
Yeah, but that was for yesterday. Streaming deal.
Was it? Okay.
What am I working for? I'm working to make kids happy. There's really no better feeling than that.
At ADP, we're designing a better way to work so you can achieve what you're working for. HR, talent, time,
Mark,
benefits, and payroll.
how'd it go? Did you find a laptop or not? Or
I
do you
can't
have
find the
time?
power connectors. I got 3 laptops.
What if I find a power thing?
Try.
I have some power stuff that might work for on a laptop. That
I'll
I,
let Suzanne look tonight too. She usually can find it.
but I wouldn't even mind trying to find a power gun. Now, if you can, if it's too old, I don't care. I just wanted to know.
They're not too old.
Okay, cool. I mean, in Africa, they would mean gold, is what I'm saying.
So how much are we going to get for them?
No one better.
Let's trade them for blood diamonds.
That's the Congo. So, Mark, I saw a lot of confirmations this morning. Good work.
This is driving me crazy. Why is this doing such
a lot of trade confirmations.
Very good. President. On Consumers First, Suzanne's president, by the way. Or not Consumers First. Referral list.
You mean when we change it?
Yeah.
Are you changing it now?
I'm just finishing up the credit card shit. The reason I said that is...
What credit card shit? The new one? We got the new one, right?
No, not. You're thinking of something else.
Oh.
The new merchant.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Thank God. There, I'm done. That was the longest freaking... All right, I'm going to go call Phil Schlong.
Phil Schlong. Is Schlong a bad word? Can I say that on the radio?
Many meetings.
Can I say Schlong on the radio? Phil Schlong. And Icon Eye Care made me a believer.
I don't know. I've
I
never
don't know.
heard that one. But I would think it's
have you
okay.
heard the word schlong before? I'm
Yeah.
gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up because there are certain things really, you know, even my show we can't do. Because they're made from advanced silicone, I'll never get cataracts.
Yeah.
We're coming back with that
A
Mary
man's
song.
penis, vulgar slang.
Can you get to the part where it talks about bugging?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where we started.
Is this it? Oh, I'm sorry.
For honoring my brother's
I
wishes.
thought that was like maybe part of the open or something.
We all want
Yeah,
to
that's the
remember
only
what makes us us.
definition.
Highland
Wow.
Mortuary and
Oh,
Cemetery,
really?
one of our local
How do you spell it?
memorial providers.
SCHLONG.
Please stand affordably. Visit denver.dignitymemorial.com/values
Schlong,
to
penis.
learn
Oh.
more. Your local Rocky Mountain Stock
Vulgar
Growers want you to
slang.
know that
Don't
Strong
slip the word.
Sod in your yard is
I'll
the
slip it.
easy and efficient way to add natural beauty to your home. Beautiful, soft, natural green Kentucky bluegrass uses much less water than people think.
I used to have nicknames for every dealer in town, like Cherry Creek Dodge the Truth,
Absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen,
you know,
keeping the air clean
Jimmy
and
Dutch,
fresh around
and
your home. Learn more by visiting the experts at the Rocky Mountain
Doug
Stock
spending your
Growers,
money,
keeping your
spending your
gas
money,
healthy.
and then there was Leo Payne in the ass.
6:30
His name was Leo Payne,
An iHeart radio
and
station.
I had
ExcelRoofing.com.
Everyone. Okay.
Okay, there you go. That's what inspired Why You Buggin'. That's what Hank named his company, Why You Buggin' Pest Control. Anyway, let's go to the phones, 303-713-TALK.
Hey, wait a minute. Was that copyright infringement? Taking that name? Why are you bugging? I'm just curious.
No, because it's a name of a company, not a song. You know, you can use similar phrases and things. When is Mark Trenner coming back in? We get so many questions about IP.
Not till September, Tom.
Because listen to this. Listen to this mistake. I heard one guy, oh, it's so stupid. There was a guy that advertised on TV. And the way he advertised, he actually stole my concept technically. This attorney was doing these help centers, so to speak. You remember when I used to do Help Center 4 on Channel 4, and we'd have attorneys on the phones, and I'd say, if you have a problem, call us right now. And we'd break in and do that a few times through the night. And then from the Help Center, I went to Fox, and Fox 31 did the same thing. And now people got wind of it, and they start doing it, and they do these fake ones. They tape themselves in front of a bank of phones and say, hey, I'm attorney so-and-so, or someone interviews them and says, hey, you're so-and-so, right? So he did these commercials with a Help Center behind him, all right? Okay. Now, some other guy figures, I want to do this for mortgages. So he does it. And the attorney writes to him, tells him he's infringing on intellectual property.
That's crazy.
It's not only crazy, it's stupid and moronic. Because any attorney that would write a letter, there's nothing there to protect. You know?
You're the original help, Tom.
And here's the deal. You know, help, if you called it Help Center something, that would be, you know, protectable, but not the concept. You can't protect just a way of doing things like that. We need to get Mark Trenner in to talk about intellectual property. But listen, I digress. Let me get here. We got a lot going on. Mark's on the phone with Phil Schlong Ford to find out about that pickup truck. They sell her a pickup truck, then take it back because they say they can't get her finance. Meanwhile, they keep her money. Well, no, they let her keep the $500 they gave her for the truck, but the other $500 in the trade they wouldn't give her. They said that's for rent because she had the other truck 40 days. However, Colorado law says, I believe, you can only go 10 days on bailment. You got to let them know within 10 days. Christina, it's your turn. Go ahead, Christina. What's happening?
Hi.
Hi, Christina.
Hi. Let me get off this thing here.
All right.
Sorry.
Let's talk.
So I have a question. I live in a neighborhood, and they just put in, started putting in the tiny home village for the homeless.
Really? Right in your neighborhood?
Yes.
Okay. Is your neighborhood like just a regular neighborhood, like a city street, or is it a subdivision with covenants? What is it?
It's near downtown, but it's a subdivision, I would say. I'm not sure
let me explain what I mean.
It's an actual neighborhood.
Okay, it used to be that there were no real subdivisions. There were more neighborhoods. A builder would go in and just, you know, build some houses on a street, but it wasn't really a subdivision. It wasn't a plot of land that he developed and all of that. It was simply lot by lot. And then you're controlled by city ordinances, in other words. But whereas if I bought 50 acres and I made a private road in there, and then eventually I deed the road back, but to the government. But it becomes its own little enclave subdivision, that's like Highlands Ranch, you know. But then eventually Highlands Ranch became a city. That might be a bad example. But the Pinery, that would be a subdivision, or Cherry Creek Country Club, that's a subdivision, or
no.
Okay.
Then it's not a subdivision.
It's a neighborhood.
It's kind of like a historic neighborhood.
Okay. And where are they putting these tiny homes? I didn't know that.
So there's a lot of industrial around this neighborhood.
Okay.
So there is.
What neighborhood is it, first of all?
It's Gloveville.
Oh, right near where the stock show is, right?
Yes, right by that buy and build that you promote.
Got you.
Yes, so right there, there was a few signs here and there saying no to tiny home village. When I tried to go online on the city and county building, there was no area that gave information on where to vote or not vote.
In other words, how many homes are they putting up there?
Oh my gosh, right now, I drove by there, and there's probably 10 of them right now.
Okay, they
They're
must
on, like,
have
a
gone.
concrete slab.
Who is? Well, first of all, who is they, or who are they?
So I called them. Let me get their name. Hold on a second.
Is it a government entity?
It's all they say. I don't know.
Is it a coalition for homeless people? What is it?
It's for homeless people.
I understand, but what the group I'm trying to find out, did they go through the proper process?
They didn't. They said that they did, but they didn't.
Well, then why would the city not shut them down? Why wouldn't the city shut them down then? If they did not go through the zoning and special use, why wouldn't they just get shut down?
The city. They said that the city, who was district. Let me see. I have some information on here.
But Christina, it's pretty logical that everything goes through an approval process. You're telling me they did not.
Well, that's my question. I'm not sure if they were supposed to. They probably went through the city and county.
Okay,
Because they
you
said
want us to? We can find out for you.
That the councilman, District Number 9, approved it.
Okay, hold on. It's District 9.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I don't know what the process is for that. I don't know, for example, if zoning says so many houses per lot or so many square feet. I don't know what it says. And then would they need a special use? Yes. Would the city have to vote on that? Yes. Did they vote on that? Probably yes. Well, I guess what you're upset with is you didn't have input.
Right.
You understand, even with input, when it comes to zoning, they don't have to go with the majority of people. They can go with what they feel is best use.
Okay, the thing is, I think they believe that they lied. I called them, the people that are building
lied in
this,
what way?
And I asked them, I said, when did you give the residents of Glowville details on how to vote for this? They said they did give them information. They passed mailers, flyers, and they went door to door.
Christina?
And they never did.
Okay. Christina, I don't put it past authorities to fool people when they have votes or when they have public hearings. That happens. It happened in Weld County with Tom Parco and a gang of crooks up there in Weld County. They snuck a Verizon tower in, and they were supposed to notify people, and they didn't, but they claimed they did. It was just I don't even want to get into that cluster, but here's what I'm saying. I don't doubt that it could happen, but really, Christina, in this particular case, even if everyone was notified, and even if every one of them said, we went to a public hearing and said, we don't want it in our neighborhood. In this particular case, they can still grant a special use. It does not require the approval of the adjacency. It only requires notification and public hearings. See, that's a technicality. People assume that at a public hearing they will bear enough pressure to get their way. But plenty of times there have been public hearings where the public is adamantly against or for something, and city council votes opposite. So even though you're arguing about the process, what I'm saying is ultimately, why? Because if they want it there, they have the authority to put it there.
Okay.
Unless...
there was no notification. That was my point. There was no notification at all.
But what I'm saying is this. What do you do about that? Do you undo the whole project? I don't know. I mean, if there was no notification. But we can simply find out if there was notification or not. But, Christina, there probably was. Are you saying the city is flat out lying about it?
I'm not saying the city, because the city's not the people that told me that. The people that are building it is the ones that said that they sent out flyers.
Okay, here's what I want to tell you. Here's what I want to tell you. I
did leave messages to the councilman to find out how this process went, and they haven't returned my call.
Listen, the developer, whoever it is, whether it's a charity, a company, or what, quickly, I'm going to give you a lesson. They go to the city and say, we want to do this. The city says, here's your punch list. Number 1 on the punch list, number 1, they, the developer, must notify the adjacent properties of a public hearing if there is to be a zoning change. You're telling me the owners never did it, but lied and said they did.
Right.
Okay, hold on. Dan, it's very easy. We're going to go to District 9 and ask for the records, because they have to keep records and verifications of notifications. We got more coming up.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. There's a couple of...
shut you down.
Cracker Jack Short.
I shut you down.
Outside of town as well.
Mark, how's it coming out there? The garage? No, but the looks, how do you like it?
It's not even, there's no building erection yet. There's not even the foundations for it.
Did you delete that comment from Shane White? Was that you that deleted
Suzanne,
the
I
ugly
recall.
comment
I recall.
Did you,
about Tom?
did you ban
I went-
anybody?
What comment?
The guy made an ugly comment. I went to hide it, but I was going to ban him. But
Where-
somebody deleted it
Where was it?
on Facebook. So when you delete a comment, I can't go ban the guy now. Just our live feed today.
Oh, I don't do anything on
That's the
Facebook.
fear monger line guy saying today about aviation or something.
Okay, that's fine. I don't give a shit. No, I only care about personal photos. I don't care about that, but that's up to you.
Well, we get protection.
I'll leave it up to you. CrackerjackMudjacking.com. Listen, here's the most logical proposition in the world. If you have sinking concrete, cracking concrete, heaving concrete, I mean, and you are looking at replacing it, what is it going to hurt to call Crackerjack Mudjacking just to see if they can repair it? I don't have to get into the technique, but I can tell you this. They have repaired thousands of concrete jobs that people thought they had to replace, including mine, saving me 12 grand. 303-410-7787. Free estimates. CrackerjackMudjacking.com.
For Skechers Wide Fit Footwear.
I'm 6'5", but I can tell you there are certain challenges in life that only big guys understand. Regular clothes don't fit. Heck, regular cars don't
So
fit.
Phil
When
on.
it comes to shoes,
Did you talk?
Skechers gets it. That's why I wear
I'll hear back from them pretty soon. But yes, I got some.
Let's just do an update. At least
That's fine.
Okay, and then Dan, you bring up that other thing.
all day long.
Find Skechers Wide Fit at
You're hurt, you need help, get free legal advice. That's the message. Truly free legal advice. John Fuller, Fuller Law. He'll tell you if you have a case or not. He'll tell you if you need an attorney. I'm serious. Why not call? I have vetted him. I trust him. He is great. He knows all the areas of law surrounding personal injury, which can get complicated. John Fuller. His website, personalinjuryco.com. His number, 303-597-4500.
Today, business happens.
Hey, babe, is our daughter still alive?
Virtually
Yeah.
Did you let her go to yoga or did you make her stay home?
Are they out of school?
Addie's last day was last week, so she has her ceremony on Tuesday. We're out for and then our party. But she's giving Mark a hard time about babysitting the dogs
Is
today.
Tuesday, Monday's Memorial Day.
No, that's a week from Monday.
Oh, my God. Okay, never mind. I'm all right.
Yeah, but she was giving Mark static today. Saying that she didn't have to babysit the dogs.
So are you getting a lot of RSVPs for your party?
We have several people, 50 plus.
Wow.
Coming.
Wow. That's big.
Probably more than 50, but
What are you
it'll
gonna-
be more than 50. I'd be
What are you
concerned.
going to serve?
We got Olive
Hot
Garden
dogs.
again.
Hot dogs
And
from
we ordered more
Libera.
chicken this year.
From
Our
Barrio.
son graduated
I love
last year.
Two
We did
for a
Olive
dollar
Garden
dog.
catering
I
for the
love
party
hot
and
dogs.
ran out of the chicken parm.
Looks like Albert.
So we did more chicken this year.
Councilman
And
for that area.
the majors are officially done with high school.
Hey, are the parents coming out?
Albert,
My mother,
Yeah.
you'll meet my mom. I haven't seen my mom in 10 years.
I know his parents.
And his parents are coming out, and my sister.
I like his dad. I go flying with his dad.
Yeah.
Get ready for the season.
What did you sign up? Who is this?
Who's that?
Jimmy Lewis.
That's the welder.
Okay.
Does he want you to go flying, or is he not going to be here that long?
Oh, I'm sure he don't want to go flying. Probably bring him up in that little plane, actually.
That's what I did last time.
No, you didn't. You brought him up in the helicopter.
No, I brought him in the sport plane. I did. I let him fly. When? He was with me.
Fuck, I don't remember that.
Yep, we went flying, bro. We went flying. He met me, and we went flying at the airport. He met me.
What do you think of that little thing?
He liked it. He says, holy shit, he couldn't believe a glass cockpit. I mean, he just couldn't believe all the instrumentation.
And of course, for the price, it's fucking.
Yeah, he says, I don't think I could fly, I understand this shit.
Isn't that a,
3 years.
how did he do with that compared to?
The only thing he did wrong was he held too tight, and it was just because, but he had control, and on the flare, he didn't want to do that. He says no, and he's smart because, because that thing is a fucking handful. It sinks, and if you pull back too fast, it'll drop like.
How does, what's not the velocity, what's the other one? The air coupe. Is that a bitch to fly?
No. That's the easiest thing in the world.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Even easier than that thing?
Oh,
than the Sport?
Yeah, the Sport's easy to fly, not easy to land, just because the flare is weird. My airplane, the air coupe, if you steer it toward the runway, steer it, and as you're getting close to the runway, you don't flare, you just drive it onto the runway, you can land. If you have judgment, you can just go like this, and then if you have wind, it might be a challenge, but I'm telling you, it is easy. There have been stories of people, a kid with his dad, and his dad incapacitated, the kid landing, and I don't know if I believe this one, but there was one about the guy said it took off, and he was working on the carburetor and had it running, but so there was no fuel in it, just in the bowl, so it took off, out of fuel toward the end of the runway, and then it was only like 50 feet, came down and landed. Who knows if that's true? Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We're going to check out Globeville, District 9. Here's the issue. Christina just basically doesn't want the house. They don't want those tiny houses, but here's the thing. I'm not going to weigh in on whether they should be in the neighborhood or not, but I will tell you that the process is this. When you want to do any change in zoning, anything at all, you must either get a zoning change, called rezoning, or special use. The difference is special use goes under review.
I just got an email on this. You ready?
Yeah, and I want to say one more thing, though. So before they can do that, they have to let people know within a certain radius, and absolutely let people know who are adjacent so they can weigh in on a public hearing. Then the zoning board hears the public hearing. Then they make recommendations to city council. The city council is the one that ultimately votes it yes or no. So Dan said it was voted
13-0.
13-0 in favor. Now, Mark, go ahead.
Well, this is from Herb. There was a ton of notifications on the tiny house community. It was in the news. It was in the paper. The neighborhood did not want it. The city voted for it. He doesn't live in the neighborhood, but these tiny homes were moved from 38th and Welton.
Yeah. And Elvis Brooks is a councilman for District 9.
So they were moved, Mark, meaning at one time they were going in another area?
I assume so.
They're moving currently, they're moving now.
From
where they were downtown.
Do we know why?
I don't know.
And here's what I think they do. Come on, let's face it. They take communities where they think, hey, who cares if they did? You know, let's put it this way. You won't see them in Cherry Hills. I mean, really, let's be honest. Let's be honest. You won't see them in Bonnie Bray in Denver. You won't see them in Belcaro. Name a neighborhood, these nice neighborhoods. Pill Hill, they call it, because all the doctors live up there. Where is that? Anyway, or Capitol Hill. But there is a Pill Hill. It's in Denver. I forget what they call it, but it's an area in Denver. You won't see them there. You won't see them in certain areas ever. Why?
I think they should be out by Blackhawk, that area.
But here's what's really true. This is really true. They really do pick residents that they don't care about, because if anyone says no, they don't. Come on. Have you ever seen zoning use and special use for this kind of stuff in high-end neighborhoods ever? Have you? Halfway houses? Huh? Group homes? Have you ever? No, you have not. Because city council, it happens all over the country. They pick neighborhoods where they don't care what the neighborhood thinks. They don't. As I said, living proof. Why didn't they put it in Bonnie Bray? Come on. Lots of room there. Let's go to Belcaro. Let's go, pick a place. Pick a place. You won't find them there. So that's just an observation. Christine, that's not going to help you. But, I do think that they don't care what people think in certain neighborhoods, and you're one of them. But According to our sources, now we're getting even more than one, Christina, there was tons of notification.
No.
But, okay, here's the deal. They're not going to undo it because you didn't get notified.
Okay, so there's no way for us to petition it?
Now, I didn't say that. Petitions are, that's another thing for zoning. I got more coming up. Have you been hit with hail? Get your car fixed without body fillers and without messing up your paint. Preserve the value of your car with paintless dent repair. Call Flexident today. Experienced, highly skilled, in business more than 15 years. 303-619-6273. That's 303-619-6273. 2 locations in Aurora on Mississippi near Chambers and west of Denver on Wadsworth just south of Yale. Flexident is a preferred shop on myreferralist.com. 303-619-6273.
Did you know people mistakenly believe that grass uses too much water? Grass only uses what's provided. People waste water by giving grass more than it needs. Grass also increases property value by as much as 15% as compared to homes without it. People appreciate the natural beauty and cooling that grass provides. Curb appeal and great times with family and friends make a home with grass part of our quality of life. Learn more by visiting the experts at the Rocky Mountain Sod Growers to keep your grass healthy. Go to sod-growers.com.
You hear a lot of celebrity endorsements in town telling you who you should call for your next home loan. The question you have to ask yourself, is that who they called when it was time for them to get a mortgage? When you hear an on-air personality talk about Ideal Home Loans, it's because they picked up the phone and called us for their own personal home loan. To find out how we can help you, call us today at Ideal Home Loans, 303-867-7000, or apply online at idealhomeloans.com. Equal Opportunity Lender, regulated by DORA, NMLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 844-45-IDEAL.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. With Ross Kaminsky mornings, Dan Kaplis afternoons at 4, KHOW, Denver.
That gave me a bid that I simply am still trying to digest.
For what?
So good.
For what? What doesn't work?
It is complete. It's for the building. Complete installation. So remember,
Hilltop is the neighborhood I was trying to think of. For Pill Hill.
I haven't heard of that.
Okay, go ahead.
Of garage doors. Huge.
Which garage door?
For the garages.
Now,
For my garage.
My garage doors.
Yeah,
to get them all rebuilt, to get all new.
No. These are all brand new though. It's a brand new building. There is nothing there.
I know.
Okay.
Are they the doors and the openers?
Yeah, doors, openers, and the
how much?
Everything, and including windows on the new doors.
How much?
Our factor of 10.
How much?
And hold on, they're 14 by 12 foot doors. They're fucking RV doors.
How much?
Under.
Oh no way, Mark, that's impossible.
That's what kind of. That's door? Why I keep.
Can you tell me who it is?
They're on a referral.
I know who.
Face charges in the murder of Marlon Ochoa, the 19-year-old pregnant
Garage Door Solutions.
Okay. Are they in Denver's list?
No. Yeah. They're listed in Denver, but they do mostly Colorado Springs, Monument, Franktown, Castle Rock. They really stop at about Castle Rock. And these openers are unbelievable, man. They're side mounts.
I know. Sidewinders, they're called. Mark.
All Wi-Fi, all everything.
Mark. I'm telling you that the 2 sidewinders, commercial grade, with Wi-Fi and all of that, would come to that.
Well, I'm telling you, man. I can't clarify anymore. Are you sure we're on the same page?
What's the quality?
They're the same doors everybody else is quoting me. These are light-duty commercial.
Did you try Don's? He's really good.
He doesn't go to Castle Rock. They're the lift masters.
That's right.
Here, look at them. Here's the sidewinders. Look at these things. They're beautiful. They come with everything. All installation.
That's
perfect.
There's the doors. It's the R factor I wanted.
Call 1-800-862-HELP.
Is that? Am I crazy?
That's per door.
No.
Or 2. No way. Then he's losing money on it.
Well, I don't know if that's true.
Alexa, play Maren Morris.
Let me see here.
Okay.
Here, look.
songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
This report is sponsored by KFC.
Mostly cloudy with a chance of thunderstorms and a high of 84. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a
Sure,
low of 52. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a high of 72.
Look,
Saturday, partly sunny with a high of 63.
Try
Here's the
KFC's
original.
new
Just look here.
$6 deal. Mix and
Here's
match
the original.
22 of these items.
I wanna-
The famous bowl,
I mean, just look at
hot
this.
pie, extra
Here's what it
crispy
says.
tenders, and
Description of
kernel
work.
sandwich for
All
just
labor
$6.
materials
Finger
to
licking good.
complete the
You know
following.
what I love about Art of Granite? You can get price quotes
One,
on the phone. All you have to do is have some measurements and
10 by 8,
Give them a call.
14, so two different garages. There they are right there.
Designer countertops
And then here's how much the openers are each. Okay. So it would be this plus these two. Okay.
Visit their showroom
You
in
follow me?
Get your
So
wholesale
then I
countertop material,
email her
custom edges,
back.
sinks, cabinets, and you'll love the work they do. They'll make an appointment right then, and from the templating appointment,
What is the
it
R
takes just
factor?
1
The
week
R
for
factor is blah, blah,
installation,
blah.
serving Denver Metro and the mountain
That's how to
communities.
run 'em.
And when you have the kitchen done, they do the bathroom free, and they tear out and haul away everything free. Artofgranite.net. 303-386-5919.
Yeah, the windows.
That's 303-386-5919.
Okay, read what this says.
303-386-5919.
Well, when I read the specs on there, it says 10, so I don't understand that. The quote, look at this, the quote includes all materials and labor. There's an option for the openers, which also includes all the material and labor. To install 2 openers. Look, total to install both doors and 2 openers, including all materials, labor, and taxes. The openers are side mount. The electrical needs to be ready, which of course they're not going to do. I got to run that into. So then I put, look.
These are just, so these are actual, not even replacements. These are
brand
new.
LASIK partner of the Denver Broncos.
But look, then let me show you where I clarify.
Has done more than 250,000 LASIK procedures in Colorado.
I'm sure it's right here.
Look,
Look.
I'm getting the word out about Denver's LASIK Center of Excellence. See the world in a whole new light. Toss your glasses and contacts away. Call Icon
what do you
today
say?
for your free LASIK consultation at 866-GOT-ICON.
I'm like
or
a little
visit Icon Eye Care.
scratching my head.
Consumers Real Estate Show. That's right, a real estate show for consumers. All inside information to help you.
Now, I will say this. I've gotten a couple around 55. I got one at 6 that includes windows.
$1,000 now. Text the nationwide keyword wings to 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry. Plus
What's the benefit of a side mount?
Okay, I was just talking to my guy.
Because they roll up.
No, no, they don't. They don't necessarily roll. The main thing is aesthetics. You don't have all that shit.
Yeah, it's right there.
That's truly.
And then if you wanted to build rafters.
It's truly, yes, it's truly harder on the motor and everything. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome. I'm a consumer advocate. I solve problems. I answer questions.
I take complaints. Been doing it, nearly 40 years here in Denver. Longer if you count elsewhere. So thank you so much for all the trust you put in me. Let me just get to the phones. I always say that because I know there are new people listening every day and coming into Denver or Colorado Springs or on our big online audience. So remember, you can always call 24/7, and I urge you to give it out. 303-MARTINO. There's no charge for our service. What we do is we help where we can. If not, we give you advice, help information, referrals. 303-MARTINO works 24/7. Please leave contact information. Dan, have people been leaving contact information since I've been asking for it or not?
Some half.
Yeah, because if you want help, we got to get back to you. 303-MARTINO. And we have a guest today from the referral list in the Colorado Springs area. Why you buggin' pest control. We love that name. Anyway, so Hank's in to say hi. And Hank, feel free to just chime in now and then. Seriously, if you really just want to give an opinion on any of these things, feel free to do it. I'm not going to get into any diatribes, but
Can you kill prairie dogs?
We've had a lot of things under discussion. If you've heard something in the past you want to follow up, come and tell me. Now, you asked about prairie dogs.
Speaking of follow-ups real quick, we should be hearing back from Phil Long. I spoke to someone there, hopefully with good news. We'll see that soon.
Phil Schlong Ford in Colorado Springs.
Phil Schlong. But
yes.
As far as prairie dogs, I've always heard, can you kill them or not? I don't know.
What do you mean, legally?
Yeah, legally. Can you kill them?
You have to check the map, make sure they're not in a protected zone.
So they actually have their own little safe zones?
There is protective zones in the state where you cannot treat them or mess with them at all.
Really? Why, I wonder? They're not endangered, are they?
I think the black-footed ferret is endangered.
Ferret?
Colorado Springs, yes, and it does live with the
groundhog?
Ground, yeah.
303-713-TALK. Now, Christina is upset. It's called, what do they call it, NIMBY or something? What do they call it when not in my backyard? NIMBY? NIMBY, not in my backyard. Hey, I think we should have halfway houses, not in my backyard. I think we should have group homes for this, not in my backyard, for the mentally ill or we need to have tiny homes for the homeless, not in my backyard, meaning not in my neighborhood. She's upset. Now, Christina, the only reason I held you over is because I don't, we've had some emails, okay? Here's the bottom line. She's upset because she is saying the petitioner, the one building these homes, did not notify the surrounding neighborhood for the public hearings. But the point I'm trying to make is that whether the community wants it or not, no matter what happens at a public hearing, council can vote the way they want. That's the bottom line. Public hearings are not votes. Because first of all, usually only the people against something will show up. Has a public hearing ever changed a vote? Probably, but they don't have to. Have you ever been to a public hearing, Mark? Ever?
Oh, hell yeah.
You have been?
Oh, my God.
Okay.
They tried to put some townhomes in Franktown, man. I think everybody in our entire community showed up.
Because of traffic?
Well, well, not just traffic, water being the biggest one. They would have emptied our aquifers.
So, public hearings do not mean votes. So, Christine says, I don't want them in our neighborhood, tiny homes for the homeless. It's in Globeville. Christina, I made a point, and no one can defy me. I believe that authorities and government pick neighborhoods where they won't get a big fight and where they don't care about the fight. They will never put one in Hilltop. They will never put one in Bonnie Bray. They will never put tiny homes in any subdivision with nice homes and higher income people, and that's just the way it is. And I defy anyone to tell me anything in this city that has ever been done like that. They haven't. They go to Globeville, they go to Commerce City, they go to sometimes, and this isn't Denver, but the far reaches of Aurora. They pick areas where they think the people are poor, or they have crap houses, or I don't care what they say. That's what they do. They don't have too much influence. I mean, it's so glaring. Why do we tiptoe around it? So, Christina, I'm pretty sure that your community did not want it, but they didn't care. They voted 13-0. So why do you think it matters? If you proved, let's say, that the people, the petitioner, did not notify everyone, what do you think it will accomplish? Really, let's get right down to it. What do you think it will accomplish? When you had a 13-0 vote, do you think it'll change things?
That's the thing, is why doesn't the residents of the neighborhood have any power towards that? Especially since it's right next to an elementary school. And that's my issue.
Well, why? Do you think homeless are dangerous?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh, come on.
There's a lot of mental illness with homeless folks.
Man. Don't you think there will be...
abuse?
Listen, I'm not, by the way, saying we should have homeless homes, which is really just a dichotomy, because once they're in a home, they're not homeless. I'm not saying they should be next to elementary schools, but I don't think we can make the giant leap to say that they're all dangerous, for goodness sakes.
Oh, my God. Have you not... you have delivered dinners with me for Pastor Lawrence. I was down at Save Jesus and Jesus Saves and all these places. I'm telling you...
No, you're right.
It's dangerous.
There's a lot of mental illness. You're absolutely right. And addiction, absolutely. Do you think there will be qualifications, though? Of course. I don't... Listen, Christina, I understand why you don't want it in your neighborhood. The point I'm trying to make is they don't care.
And we can't do anything about it.
Well, I didn't say that, okay? That's how we left it. You can always do something about it in America. We have petitioning, okay? You can petition something to reverse it. You can do any petition you want. You get enough people, it'll go before city council or a vote. But here's the thing, man. I mean, they don't care about the people in Globeville or the people in neighborhoods that they perceive not to have influence. I know that we try to be politically correct. Really, we do. And I know we really... No, I'm talking about as a society. We're trying to use the proper terms, and we're trying to say the proper things, and we're trying to reflect the proper colors and ethnicities. We really do. And by the way, I think that's a good thing. But in reality, why do you think Globeville was chosen? Why?
Because there's no money to fight it.
There's no money to fight it, no influence. They don't care about the people there.
Right.
So, Christina, you're asking, can you do something? Yeah, make a lot of noise. But, you know, I don't think the public hearing thing, I think you're wasting your time on that.
You toss those reps out on their ass when you can.
Yeah.
That's what you do. Elvis Brooks.
But then where do we put these homes? Where do we put them? Where should they put them, Christine? Huh?
In Cherry Hill.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Pueblo.
Really, Christina, I know what you're saying. You're saying, look, why can't we just put them all over? How about we make it mandatory that every neighborhood, listen, how about every area of the city has to absorb a certain amount?
No. Why? That's crazy.
I'm saying to make it fair.
What?
Mark. No one wants them. No one wants them. Yet we say we have to end homelessness. I mean, what do we do? What's the answer?
One-way ticket to Hawaii where it's 84 degrees a day and the beaches are open to the public. You cannot block them.
Or where is
They'll never freeze.
Where do they have something similar to 300?
There's wild chickens running around to eat.
Does California have something akin to 300? What? Was 300 an amendment, or what was it? 300 was going to be what? What was it? The
police couldn't even...
I understand that, but was it statewide, or was it...
No, just Denver. Just Denver.
But what did they call it? An ordinance, or what?
I guess so, yeah. Ordinance.
I guess technically. And it was shot down by, like, what, 80?
5-1.
Yeah, it was crazy, 80%.
So here's what I want to know from people, and I'm really serious. I like the concept of the tiny houses. I don't know if they're supposed to be just a stepping stone. I don't know enough about the program to have an intelligent discussion.
Think about it. You can eat mushrooms in Denver now. You can live in a tiny home for free.
Smoke
and
pot.
I think you can you shoot up? Did that pass? You can go shoot up in a safe zone?
Didn't pass.
Denver's going to hell.
So what I'd like to, well, it's a very liberal city. Let's put it that way. What I'd like to know, please, people who are informed, tell me a little bit, and I'm going to read about the tiny home thing. I want to know if it's a stepping stone or if they live there for a long time. I want to know the qualifications, and I want to know if you would accept it in your home, in your neighborhood. Cherry Hills, Greenwood Village, Bonnie Bray, Belcaro.
How about right here
Hilltop?
in the beautiful tech center?
So that's what I want to know. 303-713-TALK, because it's so funny when you confront people with this agenda and you ask them straight up, okay, we're putting them right in your neighborhood, what they would say. We got more coming up. Am I over time? Yeah, right now.
You imagine? I just can't imagine.
Tom, 1 minute, revitalize health long.
Denver is just off the charts.
This Elvis
The mushrooms are like...
Okay.
If I was homeless, you know why I come here? Because there's marijuana, there's fucking mushrooms.
It's not legal, it's just decriminalized.
Okay, so you don't get in trouble. But if you're homeless, if that bill did pass, which it didn't, you could probably have drugs because the cops can't even talk to you.
Which drugs?
Any drugs.
Are you talking shoot up?
Anything. No, I'm talking if it passed to where the cops can't even bug the homeless. How would they even search them for fucking heroin?
74.
That was
Traffic in Western, I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30.
You never bet me. You chickened out, yes. Looks like mine builds in Globeville.
I sold Walmart perfectly today. I took my profits, got the fuck out. TheHormonePros.com. Three brothers, healthcare. They opened a clinic to optimize hormones, to do cosmetic procedures, to do other things that revitalize your health. That's why they're called Revitalize Health. But I call them TheHormonePros.com. A fun name, easy to remember, but truly they are serious when it comes to age management and age-defying treatments. You know, I love the idea of that microlift they do, and it's a facelift and that thread lift. They can do that for a few $100s, honestly, and have certain areas that it lifts. It doesn't look like you're in a windstorm and stretched out. They do natural procedures. They do microneedling, which stimulates your own collagen. They do fillers if you want them. Check them out. And they do BioT, the most natural delivery system of testosterone and estrogen. 720-361-2302. Or, of course, their website, TheHormoneBros.com.
You know, this article says they're tucked away between a brewery.
Where they were. They were at 38th and Blake.
See, I got no, if they're not around other homes, and if it's not going to devastate a community, I don't give a shit. But you put that in fucking Highlands Ranch, your property values go down.
It said to do some research on Seattle and San Francisco and how those cities are dying because they take in all the homeless piss and shit everywhere.
Yeah, but see, those are tent cities. Those are tent cities. They're not tiny homes.
Yeah, we got
I don't even know if tiny homes, do tiny homes have bathrooms?
No, there's community bathhouse, bathroom.
Okay, so these are basically and then they have community kitchen, community bathroom.
I'll share the contact with your
Well, here's what I'd say you should go undercover and live there for 3 months.
Okay, I'm there.
And you report to us occasionally after you bathe.
Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky for American Financing. Instead
No,
of
Dan, did Mark ever tell you about the time he tried to move the homeless lady in with us in exchange for cleaning our house?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
That's what we should do.
Shame on you, Mark.
That was years ago.
Shame on you.
It was true.
He's evolved since then.
I felt so bad for her. She lived in our parking lot at one of the Goodyears. Literally lived in the parking lot with her little dog. And I said, well, maybe we can help you on your feet a little. Let me talk to my wife. I was probably...
I really think we're done with Christine.
I think I was 22 or 23.
Tell her to keep listening.
God, she'll never let that one go.
It is kind of a good story.
She was, the woman was old too. I started thinking, holy shit, this official broad could die. Oh.
So no, it doesn't look.
So anybody that says I don't have a heart, there's proof.
What do you think about the tiny
So here's gold bill. So it isn't,
like Mark said, it brings down property values, but like you said, something has to be done. So
why is it right there?
But don't you see how they have favorites?
What do you mean some? Okay, how about they get a job and get an apartment? Not all of them can, I understand.
And they're bad in the springs too.
Some homeless give a bad name to other homeless. That's the damn problem.
Well, like I say, homeless is mostly drug use and
the ones down by Jesus Sage are absolutely the worst.
The two top, addiction and
biggest.
mental illness.
And there's, like I say, that's not all of them. There's probably 10% that are not. That we just can't find them.
A lot of them do not want help.
Right. They don't want help, or they don't want to conform to rules.
No, there's a true vagabond though. You know, there really is guys that are hobos, no matter what. They want to ride the rail. That's what they want to do. But they generally are off the radar. They're not asking for stuff. They have their own.
But those aren't probably living in cities.
No, not at all.
They're like the mountain men of old.
I'm telling you, in Hawaii.
Tom Martino here,
303-713-TALK. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. Yep. Out to my home with a bid. I'm getting all that new stuff that I want. They have this new LED system on the garage doors. That's the lighting part. And then they have the wireless and the battery backup. And I practice what I preach. I use the referral list, and I'm using OneClearChoiceDoors.com. They're great people. really. What I really love is their inspection they did for me. When I said I need these inspected, and they go through every single square inch of that, and they don't charge for that for Martino listeners, if you mention Martino. But you know, they don't want to, like, if you're buying a house, not going to do it just like a home inspector. They are hoping you're going to need service someday, so obviously you have to own the home. So anyway, OneClearChoiceDoors.com. We have a comment on the homeless. We've been having quite a discussion. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Tom. Thanks for taking my call today.
Yes, what's happening?
You know, I live in Lakewood, and, you know, Denver is exactly the reason the city council, the mayor, you know, that's exactly why I won't live in the city of Denver. To have a 13-to-1 unanimous vote makes no sense to me if they actually care 5 minutes about the people in Denver.
Okay. A specific example?
Well, he's talking about that.
I mean, how do we have 13 people in the city council? They care about the homeless, but they don't care about the residents that are taxpayers.
How do you know they don't care?
Well, I mean, if there was one person that cared, they would say, well,
by the way, I agree.
I don't agree.
I agree with you that they don't care about some. But think about the neighborhoods, right? Where are they choosing? Where are they choosing to put these? In neighborhoods where people don't have influence, they don't have juice. That's what they're doing. It's so plain to see. 303-713-8255. David, what's going on with you, David?
Hey, I just wanted to give you a call on your Why You Bugging guy. My wife and I use him at our home.
Yeah? What was the result?
Yes, we do. It's awesome. We actually have an at-home daycare, and we have no bugs. We're actually getting ready to give him a call here in the next week. We just had a birthday party with all the kiddos, and there's cake and crumbs and stuff all through the backyard, so I'm sure we're going to get bugs. So.
And so how long you been using them?
About 2 years.
Very good.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, ever since my wife opened up the daycare, we've been using them for about 2 years.
David, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
What are the hardest to kill bug-wise? Bud bugs? Bug bed?
Say it, Mark. Say it.
Bug beds. Oh, my God.
Bed bugs.
Bed bugs.
Oh, God.
Damn it, Dan.
Bed bugs.
Truly becoming an epidemic in Colorado.
Do you do bed bug treatment?
Absolutely, we do. We do a lot of them.
Well, how do you do it?
Do you spray or cook them?
Well, we do use a spray product on the bed.
But don't you have to come back twice?
We come back 3 times, and then we put a 90-day guarantee on the service.
Actually, coming back twice would mean 3 times if you come back twice. I meant, do you come back once? Anyway, 303-713-TALK. I get into these weird things. Hey, Francis. What's going on, Francis?
Oh, yes. My grandson passed away yesterday.
Oh, my
cell phone
goodness gracious. I'm sorry you even had to hold yesterday.
Well, I had left a message this morning,
Francis,
and he told me to hold on.
Francis, how old
was my grandson? 30.
What happened?
He has epilepsy, and yesterday he had a really bad seizure and never came out of it.
Oh, my goodness gracious. I'm so sorry. What can we do for you?
Okay, his cell phone is locked. How do we unlock it?
What kind of phone?
It's an Android.
What kind do you know? The make, the manufacturer?
Is it I don't know, it's a Cricket. I mean, it's through
Sounds like they don't know his password.
We don't.
Well, yeah,
PIN number or whatever, yeah.
You know what? I'll tell you what, nowadays, they're so difficult. Even the FBI couldn't crack that one from the, what was it, Mark? The Boston people, the bombers up there or whatever?
It was the Boston guys.
And they
finally did.
Now, I don't think Apple could do it. Apple claimed they can't even do it for the Apple. Now, I don't know how the Android is, and I'd like to say...
Well, Apple can do it, but they refuse to do it.
Are you sure they can?
Oh,
I thought they said they couldn't.
No, they can definitely undo their own encryption.
Okay, with an Android, does that... First of all, what's the manufacturer again?
It's a Cricket phone.
No,
he got it from Cricket.
I understand.
It's an Android. What kind is it, David? An LG.
Okay, so a Cricket LG Android. Okay, So if anyone is listening and knows, I'm gonna look it up too. So let's find out for you, and we can take your information, and we can get back to you. So if anyone knows,
what are you trying to get off the phone?
Is there?
Well,
not that I care.
A lot of messages on there, and some of them might be real important. And this way, and we want to contact his friends and let them know because he's got all their numbers on his phone. It's an LG Fortune 2.
Okay, I'm going to go LG.
LG what?
I'm looking it up. Yeah, so hold on. All right, let's find out. Where was he when this happened?
Here at home.
God, how's everyone taking it? You sound normal almost. I mean, I don't mean that as a put down, but
no,
oh my God, how devastating.
So much already. And
how devastating. Did he have children?
No. No, he lived at home with my youngest son and him and our 5 cats.
I did not know you could die from a seizure.
Yes. Well, I didn't either until yesterday when it happened.
Now, I'm getting some messages on how to do this. So hold on.
Okay.
And, Suzanne, get her number. Have her listen.
Got it, Tom.
Let's figure this out. Dennis, you have a comment on homeless. Go ahead, Dennis.
Yes, good morning. Remember that truck wreck with big fire on I-70?
How long ago?
No, it just happened. The big semi.
Oh, yes. Why?
Yeah, but anyway, I was watching Fox 31, and that is Sarah Brady, everyone, the first name is anchor person, was really saying that homeless guy was a big hero and probably helped out a lot good. But people were, bleeding hearts, which they are, offering him jobs and all that. He don't want to work. And this morning they gave him a brand new motor, scooter. He'll probably sell it.
No, okay, so tell me...
Thousands of dollars in gift cards.
So tell me why, Dennis, why are you upset?
No, I'm not upset. You're mentioning it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Do
so
you
was
think...
Mark.
So
Mark was saying it's going to hell.
So what you're saying is that basically you can't help people with money and with gifts? Or
Well,
it would be a waste?
Well, no, I'm saying that personally, I think that he doesn't want to work. That's his job on the ramps. He probably makes a good living doing that.
It could be. It could be.
No, but I mean, it's like reminds me of that old show, Dobie Gillis. He'd say work, and Maynard goes, work!
Yeah. I told this story once. I'll do it very quickly. I moved to Denver. I think it was around 1980. Okay. I'm downtown doing a story, and this drunk, he's just stone cold drunk, walks up and I want to be on camera, and all that, right? And I was doing this silly story, and I said, I just kind of didn't pay attention to him. Just this drunk. Then I got talking to him, and he said, I'm looking for work. And I said, where are you trying to get out of this situation? I was just curious. Oh, yeah. And so, just fast forward. Honest to God, I'm telling you this. 20 years later, I'm downtown doing another story. This drunk comes up to me. And I thought to myself, what a successful person. This man has kept himself clothed, fed, presumably in all right health, and never worked, and had no responsibility except maintaining his status. And he came up and talked to me, and I said, oh my God, I remember you. Because I don't forget faces ever, and I remembered him. And it was so amazing to me. So homeless people, or people who lie and cheat, or people who have addictions, or people, they work hard at what they do. I mean, they really do. It's not easy to do that. So I don't understand why they don't put that same effort into changing direction.
This report is sponsored by...
What do you like about it?
I just think that's so true. What they do, it's hard work.
Yeah.
It sucks.
And it's uncomfortable.
And it could be
living out in the
life-changing.
West.
It's very difficult to maintain.
Yeah, and it could be life-changing for him. This could have been what he needed.
Well,
Just
hopefully.
to get the kick. You're gonna get the contracts from Renew,
Which ones are new?
the endorsement.
I wonder why their name sounds nothing like what they do.
What do they do?
It's Renew Home Innovations. They do
Bathtub.
bathtubs.
We refuse to have them.
20 seconds, fix it 24/7.
Oh, they without replacing it, they put that coating on it.
6:30.
Right.
K-How.
Fuck!
You know, your language, man,
So on that,
I gave
is a little much, bro.
he didn't hear though. He didn't want it.
That thing breaks every time I do the show. It breaks every single time.
Oh no, I agree. I totally agree. You should have been awarded.
So
rewarded for
when you
it.
get those, send them off to me. I'm gonna
Get what?
The endorsement.
For who?
My dad.
Tell you who did a good
Dan,
deed.
that vandalized vehicle was a 2018 Hyundai Elantra Sport.
Oh, it's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
It's a good looking car, man. I didn't know they made an Elantra. It looks so cool.
Fix it 24/7. The $39 people. Fix it 24/7. The people who are honest, ethical, and give great values. I use them for everything with plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, and you can too. You know, what I really love is when the culture from ownership down to each and every employee, they share the same thing. Always go the extra step and give extra value. So for $39, they come to your home and find any problem, no matter how long it takes. They present you with options. If you choose an option to have them fix anything or do anything, they subtract that $39. You don't pay it. And of course, all of their prices are set for maximum value with the best parts, no schlock. The best experience they apply to these jobs. And a company I know and trust, you can too. The $39 people, in fact, they do that $39 fixing up of your furnace or air conditioner to get it ready to do what it does, and they do it better than anyone. 720-526-3939, 720-526-3939, definitely fixmyhome.com.
Which one is this?
Did you see de Blasio enter the Democratic presidential race? Yeah. Today.
There's only one guy that's getting anywhere there. That's Biden. And there's going to be some bombshell on him, you
Yes,
know.
it's fairly.
He wasn't just smelling women's hair. It'll be
No, I
something
think
else.
his son is where the bombshell is going to be.
His son was a Marine that
He
died.
was kicked out. No.
Okay. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ, that is a place where you can go to get straight, beautiful teeth and a beautiful smile. Now remember, everything I'm going to tell you here applies to children as well, except for children, it's way better because they do it over a little longer period and it gets them when they're young. But if you're an adult and you never took care of that smile, you can do it now. But it's way more than a smile, okay? It's not just cosmetic, and it's way cheaper than regular orthodontics because you wear mouthpieces which widen your palate. Yes, even as an adult, it hasn't fused. He's proven it. Then your teeth naturally begin to straighten. Then he uses Invisalign braces and other things to align your mouth, to give you a beautiful smile, to do away with sleep apnea, to do away with TMJ, so you have it all. And it's just a few $1,000s, really, compared to the many thousands for regular orthodontics. You save and have a better job. The new orthodontics, Dr. Kent Lawson, Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ, 303-690-0100.
The only solution for your joint pain
He was
is
kicked
surgery
out
or
of the
prescription.
military.
Which one?
Hunter, the one that's alive now.
Why? What happened?
It doesn't say, but he was given a general discharge.
Is it possible?
General discharge could be anything.
You got to be pretty fucked up.
In another spot there. Not because I just did Aurora Orthodontics.
Then 2 months later, he was making $40,000 a month.
That's 429-6200.
Denver Stock Station, 630 K-How.
I don't see political affiliation like you do.
I'm doing that now.
Too random. God, I was a little sore last night. What about you?
Oh, you have no idea, bro.
What?
I have never been so sore. I never have any kind of side or back pain. Just a little bit last night. And then Suzanne fucking screwed me so bad. And not good. She freaking, so 8 o'clock, I'm ready to basically go into bed. She's rereading the shit about the carpet, and all of a sudden she's telling me we got to move all the furniture. And I asked her 3 days ago. I said,
normally got to move furniture.
no, she said all we had to move was the knickknacks. So she moved the knickknacks. Yeah, so last night we were moving couches and I was taking beds apart. It couldn't have been at a worse time. She gave me the old okie doke.
She okie doke you?
She okie doke. I couldn't believe it. Told me we had to move the knickknacks.
I'm Tom. Welcome. 303-713 Talk. Our guest, Hank, from Bug and Pest Control. If you have any questions on that, Mark asked about bed bugs. Bed bugs are becoming epidemic. They're terrible. And, you know, they hitchhike, which is really terrible. You can have a guest who brings them. You can have a tenant, and that ruins all of your, you know, your building or your apartment. Kids from school. They can back on the backpacks and stuff, soft things, or especially things with seams and things with ribbing where they can hide and sneak and what. So where do most bed bugs come from, do you think, or don't you know, as an eradicator? Now, you may not know.
Not sure exactly where they come from, but people pick them up. They're everywhere in public or in society.
I mean, I wonder why so much more. What do you think? I just don't know why it's so bad.
Well, you know, in Colorado Springs, same as Denver, a lot of people coming and going. And,
yeah, I guess.
You know, we've got the military in Colorado Springs. And
they're very similar to fleas, aren't they?
They do feed on blood, but a completely different insect and controlled in a totally different manner.
303-713 Talk. Hi, Jim. What's going on, Jim? Jim?
Hello.
What's happening?
Oh, I think we could solve the homeless problem very easy.
How?
Well, first it would have to be a statewide initiative that all cities participate. And we've got plenty of land out in eastern Colorado. We've got plenty of land down on all four corners of our state. When a homeless person chooses to be homeless and they aren't trying to get off the street, they need to be taken out to one of the four corners of the state, put into a place where they'll be safe and they can choose to live there. We provide.
Now, what do you mean one of the four corners? You mean literally geographically?
Geographically, the four corners.
And what do? You drop them in a field, or what are you talking about? I don't understand.
Go ahead and put a place out there where
nice field.
But the homeless can't. But the homeless, however, to be homeless, as you put it, if they choose to be homeless, and I think there are people. I wouldn't necessarily say they choose to be homeless, but they choose not to change their situation. Okay, in other words, it's not uncomfortable enough to change. Anyone is going to change if it becomes uncomfortable enough. We have two motivators. One is going towards something positive. Two is escaping pain or discomfort. Most homeless people, they are mostly homeless and no motivation either way. And I think they have to be near people because truly, without sucking off of others, the homeless would die. I mean, obviously, they have to panhandle or ask for money or food or get shelters in town. So are you proposing you send them out to where they are a hermit because they will die? I mean, you know.
No. It'll be a whole group of them. They can choose whether they go to the Nebraska corner, the Kansas corner.
What would keep them from just coming right back to Denver?
Well, when they choose to leave and choose to get themselves together.
What makes you think they will do that?
Well, if they don't do that, they can stay there with people just like themselves, and they can live their little society out in the open and free to do what they want. We provide them with food and water.
Oh, you're saying you provide food and water?
Yes, provide food and water.
Oh.
I don't think they need big facility. They've got their tents. They like sleeping on the tent. Like Denver was proposing that they could sleep on your front yard.
Hold on. Hold on. So he's saying you go out, and whose property is this?
The state owns it. They own all kind of land.
So you're saying go out to a big area of public land and supply food and water daily, and let them just do
medical treatment
and medical. So really, you're saying come one, come all to this homeless community, you'll be taken care of. And you're saying what? How will that help them get out of that situation? It won't, right?
Oh no! Once they get tired of it.
Who says they'll get tired of it? If someone could be homeless,
people and you move them out there.
But hold on.
The drug dealers will also go with them because that's their clientele.
God,
I want you to tell me.
Drug dealers don't make money off of the homeless unless they panhandle. They're not going to be able to panhandle because there's no one to panhandle from. Jim, I don't know if you're serious or kidding, but I will say this, okay? There's something to be said about a big giant community, hold on, where people are provided for and kept from tents on the street and cardboard boxes on the street from harm, yet some kind of motivation to get out of there. Listen, I don't have the answer. The only reason this came up is because a woman called, and I can't think on the spot how to end homelessness. I think a lot of observations that were made are true. I think many people choose not to change their situation. They choose not to. Others, I don't think, have a choice. And there are some so damn mentally ill, they don't know how to take the first step. And what's the other situation? Addiction. So what were you going to say, Mark?
Well, this quote I love, okay? I am doing good. I am all for doing good to the poor, but I think the best way of doing good for the poor is not making them easy in poverty. You know who said that?
Who?
Ben Franklin.
Really?
Yep. I love it. The other thing is I heard of people using the homeless to pull rickshaws downtown to the Pepsi Center.
Why? You guys are... Well, you mean...
Tom, they're so immature over there.
Wait a minute. If you offered employment to them, do you think they would take it?
I don't think so, no. Or else they'd be working
they
anyhow.
wouldn't.
I don't know. I mean...
Tom, for some people, it's easier to be homeless than to function like the rest of us.
Well, to them it is. It's definitely something that is a prime consumer and financial issue. It is. It's not political. It isn't. How to treat it may be political, but the problem is with us. And I don't think anyone advocates, even though we say, get a job, blah, blah, blah. You know, we can't sentence people to death, okay, for being homeless. We can't just forget about people. I love the idea of kicking people in the ass and saying get a job and all that. I do, but it's not real. I used to think, you know, like if somebody says, you know, blah, 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 I'm homeless, I'm this, I'm that, I would say, you know, stop feeling sorry for yourself, pull yourself up. Some people just can't. They need a little help. But here's the problem. Some people, if you give them a little help, it doesn't help them, and I don't know why. Why is it? And, Mark, I think we have had more experience at Troubleshooter Network over 40 years than anyone, well, not anyone, but most people when it comes to trying to help people. We call them projects. We take a person, a situation, a family. We used to say if we can help one at a time, that would be successful. But, Mark, we fail more than not. Why? We try to help, but those habits that are instilled in them come back. Even if we help with money, with a place to live, with food, yes, they're appreciative, and yes, it looks like they'll make progress. And what happens? They go right back to being poor and homeless and no money. And it's not like we can just, they can't be our children for the rest of their lives. Now, I don't know, speaking of projects, we didn't help them that much, but we helped them a bit. The kid, failure to launch kid, Patrick, you know, couldn't get along with his parents, his friends' parents. He lived off of people. But then we did motivate him a bit. And he did seem like he was making changes. He went and was trained to weld and some other. Do we know what he's doing right now?
He's too busy for us now, Tom. He's working.
Is he really?
As far as I know.
Do you have his number? I'd like to hear from him.
I'll reach out.
All right, 303-713-TALK.
Or he's for a day.
Teach a man to fish.
Tom, 1 minute.
And he can get you a
He
lot
gets
of
no
fish.
fish. He gets no
I love the rickshaw episode. The guy takes off with it too. So he steals the rickshaw.
Isn't that rusty? He gets something cloud and dust comes up.
We need 5 gentlemen like you. He goes, wow, look at him rush.
What is it? These guys are silly asses. I apologize for that. Hold on, I want to get a laugh too, so keep that up for me. I got to do the spot.
Free nights at pizza and thousands of other Wyndham Rewards properties worldwide. Book direct at lq.com.
You know what a nanny is? A nanny is someone who takes care of you. They let you know what you need, when you need it, and how to get it. That's what Al Aramis does and his team at Pro Auto Care. I call them the car nannies because once you're entered into the system, you get text and email reminders on what's needed on your car based on your VIN number and, of course, the estimated amount of mileage you put on your car. They also will give you special pricing and roadside assistance and 100% guarantee when you're a regular customer. That means every time you get it repaired, you have 36,000 miles of protection. If you break down, they come and get you. You get roadside assistance free. That's your Pro Auto Care nanny, 303 Pro Auto, 303 Pro Auto. The website 303proauto.com. I went over, right? Oh, way over. I'm sorry. I was thinking long and short. When does it become a problem? Like, was that a problem? Now we're gonna. Okay.
I'm just going to move something to the 12 o'clock hour where we're not syndicated.
Here, come look at this. So they buy all these cheap rickshaws from China.
Oh.
And he's got 2.
I remember this.
Watch the guy's jacket.
I think it's rough.
Remember the homeless Olympics?
They strap
no, you don't remember that. Look it up.
I will.
They
strap them to the wrist.
You look at Newman.
Look at that one guy. I like that.
He's got them.
Or are they trying him out?
Yeah, but he takes off and he never comes back with the
He
rickshaw.
keeps the rickshaw. Look at that guy run. He goes.
Holy shit, he can run fast. He just keeps going. Look at this. He's waiting for his turn.
Where's my rickshaw?
Hey, I love the business plan though. Hey, we can hire the homeless to pull our rickshaw.
Let's find something we can do.
Remember,
Let's do it. Let's try to help people who are homeless. What can we give them to do? I'm not kidding. How about protesting? You bad businesses. You think I'm kidding?
I will bet you there's a lot of them that do that.
No, I'm serious about it. We find a business that we want them to protest,
Don't you
and we
think
pay them.
Don't you think the paid protesters are basically homeless? In fact, they have them downtown. Where they were feeding them. What was that thing?
So they do have paid protesters that they for the homeless.
Yeah. Well, like I say, they were feeding.
Who are they?
They were
Who are
feeding
they?
them. Who are the homeless down there?
No, the paid. What companies do it?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You seem to know about it.
No. I on the radio down.
You heard about it.
On the right.
Could you look it up?
They were protesting downtown in front of the business.
And it wasn't truly them.
And they were the homeless, and they were feeding them beforehand, and then they gave them the flyers and
Mark, this could be fun. The Martino Marauders.
We got it. No, not Marauders.
Or the major.
No, the homeless something, no.
Homeless brigade.
Oh, I could just see this one hitting the paper, though.
Hey, what are we doing wrong?
Tom Martino hires homeless.
We're bringing. Hey, listen, we can hire for a bunch of stuff to bring awareness to stuff. Do you think I'm kidding?
No, I know you're not kidding.
I am, and you're right about the pub. All over the country. We can do advertising. Why not? Look at you're going to be walking around downtown. Just put a sign on your fucking back.
Actually, maybe that's.
You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding.
Referral list T-shirt.
It helps. No, listen.
Let's pass out referral list T-shirt.
I'm telling you that if they're going to be walking around and meeting people, you put a message and you pay them. They're helping themselves.
Joe Biden.
I know, but it's going to make you look bad. I think.
For helping the homeless.
No.
People aren't going to see it that way.
Are going to see that, holy cow, look at another referral list.
Taking advantage.
I'm going to get an I-9. I know, for the W-2, for the 1099, and I'm going to say, you walk around whenever you want, I'm going to pay you this much. And then you give them a few $100 every few days.
How do you monitor them if they're doing that?
You don't, because they're independent. But, you know what, Mark?
Think of before. Think before of a football game. 80,000 people walking in. You've got
baseball.
You got 300 or 400 homeless guys walking around with your uniforms.
Is there an association of homeless? Wait, is there an association? Do we have people who? You know what? I am not kidding you.
And then all of a sudden they become employees.
No, it's not a negative thing. Wait, if they're just walking around and we can put a message and they get paid and they get fed and people are helping, why would that be negative in any way? Do you think why would it be negative?
Well, like I said, it's advertising on. Who would want their advertising like Sheridan Auto on home?
You're not doing that. That's not what I'm doing. You're saying don't buy timeshares. Troubleshooter.com or referral.com.
I see.
You're giving public service messages.
Investment. Check out my video at Become the Bank.
You give consumer. Mark, the public. We could give. There's so many liners we could give them to wear.
With the evening news had a pair of old.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome. All right. Now, Todd. Did we take your comment, Todd?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. What's going on, man?
Great. Well, I think that the problem is pretty easy, like the last caller. You know, we're the richest country in the world. It costs $20 billion to cure homelessness. We gave Donald Trump $700 billion for war, an extra $700 billion. That's $80 billion a year. So you can just take $20 billion out of that, cure homelessness. You can take $30 billion out of that to cure world hunger. You can take $5 billion from Bezos and the Walmart family to do the same. It all sort of ties into what you were talking about, the superdelegates a couple weeks ago, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what job you have in this country, you're going to be making between $11 and $18 an hour. There was a guy that called your show a couple weeks ago. He's 60 years old. He had a thriving job delivering food. He needed a $6,000 policy so he could get another $2 or $3 in a tip. I don't know if you remember that guy.
So what is your message all around, Todd? Seriously, sum it up.
Well, we have the ability to do it. I mean, everything is kind of rigged. We're spending money. You know, there wasn't a budget for $1 billion in the military-industrial complex. There wasn't a town hall meeting. They just gave it to them.
So tell me what you think. No, I want to talk practically then. Therefore, we should do this. What is the action list for real?
Well, I mean, you just have to start there. You just have to allocate the money in a proper way. I mean, we have, you know, when the guy said you can build these towns, you know, we have sort of a net zero with immigrants coming in. You know, we're at the lowest point now. Obama deported more immigrants since every president.
That's right.
From 1900 until him.
Right.
So, you know.
Obama did a great job with immigration.
You can start building these houses in Nebraska. You know, nobody wants to live there. You know, you can start.
What you're saying, okay, I got your message. Reallocate money from useless stuff and do some practical stuff. Now, I know John has a CenturyLink problem, but we're not going to be able, I'm going to talk to him after the break because I want to give enough time, John, so we can get to someone. Seriously. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Tom.
What's going on with you?
Hey, so I was dating this girl. Her brother was like an excellent student, did great in high school, really smart kid. And he was so smart, he decided to just not work. Found out where he could get all the free food and plays his guitar in Denver and makes all kinds of money just not doing anything at all.
So, seriously, he could have gotten a job or whatever. He came from a good family, so to speak. Tell me what you mean. He engineered homelessness.
he thought he was smarter than the system, and for all I know, maybe he is.
Is he still doing it?
As far as I know, nobody really knows where he is. But
It's a modern-day beatnik, man.
But beatniks, I don't think, were jobless, were they?
I thought they just played guitars, but that's before my time.
They were into poetry and art, performing art and all of that. Hey, Ryan, you know what? I'm sure there are people playing the system, but I think the vast majority of homeless are mentally ill or they have an addiction of some kind. We're not going to cure the problem, but we certainly can talk about it. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I am Troubleshooter Tom Martino. Seriously, get your calls in. I want to help you.
Let's talk about crackerjack mudjacking. What the heck is mudjacking? It's where you take concrete and sand, they call it mud, they pump it to lift concrete.
God, man, that was funny as shit.
And they get into tight places. They can lift
I started crying, bro.
It's so when they say show about nothing, I guess that will plan worse because it's already about whatever
20 years in
life.
business, 303-410-7787.
How they were going to help the It actually wasn't, because remember the business model was they were going to do the rickshaw and do it, and then say, who's going to pull it? You go, I'm not going to pull it. I'm not going to pull it either. And they go, homeless.
Hank, I knew a guy. I used to down around the Montbello area. You know where that is? So officially I-70-225. I had a Goodyear down there, and I worked on Terminex corporate trucks. They had a shitload of old pickups. And I got to meet some other exterminators through that. And what I found very interesting, I met one guy that multiple times he would build up or create a route, mostly commercial, like flea bag motels, restaurants, shit like that, down in that area. And he would undercut Terminex, undercut everybody else, and create this route, slowly move up the prices. Then he'd turn around and sell that business to Terminex. And then he would literally go back, create a new route, a new business, and do it. And he did it for 15 years, and he probably sold, 4 or 5 over the years to Terminex. I thought it was actually an ingenious model. He was really good at building this monthly income and then selling it to a company. It was cool as shit, actually. Is that big in your business?
Not really.
No.
I don't think so.
It's kind of a niche.
Some guys do it, yeah. And I get offers all the time from Orkin, Terminex, different companies that want to buy me out.
They do they're like HVAC guys. They're constantly looking to eat the little guy up.
Eat the little guy up and then take, hopefully, 50% of the people stay with them or something like that.
Whatever the turnout is, yeah. But then this one guy, though, he'd have a non-compete for whatever a year, which are hard to prove anyhow. But after that year, he would go back, and those people already knew him because they were all commercial businesses.
So bed bugs, is spray more effective than the heating? Because the heating was, they said, the only way to kill them. Yeah, you heard that anyway.
That was just blown up to create business for the guys that don't. They charge like 3 times more the money. You think about it this way: a room has to be up to, I think it's like 160 degrees to kill a bed bug.
That's hot, bro.
No, the heat treatments, Mark, can be effective, but I hear they do harm to the house.
Well, he's saying that it's almost impossible to get the whole house up to 160
Now, it is. Well,
without blowing it up.
Behind the insulation in a wall, I mean, he's sitting there at 90 degrees.
Or down in the duct system.
No, it's true. They find it very.
They just hyped it. It's like those carpet cleaners with the pad that spins, and they say it's better, but it sucks.
Has anyone noticed at all?
What?
Your smile. Has anyone said
I
anything?
don't, well, you knew I was getting.
Yeah, but has anyone said anything? Because it's so natural, but yet
I
it's
don't know.
different.
No one's like really, even Daphne really hasn't said, she hasn't seen me yet. Like she's seen me, but she hasn't said, oh, that. So
You
I just
can't
wonder.
pause between those yet. So when do
That's solid. Can you believe that's solid?
No, when do your real ones come in?
She said, well, I'm meeting with her next Thursday for any minor adjustments. I think I'm going to have her take these down a little. It just seems like it makes it a little square. The longer eye teeth in the back, like maybe they need to be just a little shorter.
No, I don't think so at
Did
all.
you know Ben Franklin had that?
I see blending more that way. They do that.
You
it just
said
feels
he
like my
said
mouth
something
is
else.
wonderful.
I said the actual. Well,
That's not
I said in just.
you ever heard a guy that quotes somebody, but
I'm not even
really what
used
they're
to
doing is
smiling.
paraphrasing?
Well, that's what I said was.
You didn't say I'm paraphrasing, you said I'm quoting.
Let it go, and I think you're not letting it go because you're not used to it.
And
I
what
mean,
else
not
I
letting
say
it
about
go.
older-
Quote you. I think
I
when
quote.
you do
What did I
that
say
real
also
big,
what he
it's
said about
beautiful.
older women?
Okay, what?
He said,
Alexa, play Who Do You Love?
also paraphrased things. 3 things.
Okay, guys, in a minute here, I'll be doing Centennial Long 60.
Get unlimited access to over 50 million songs.
Older
Download
one.
the Amazon Music app today.
This report is sponsored by Credit Karma.
They don't done, the done, or done.
Right.
3 things.
That's right. That's right.
52. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a high of 72. Saturday, partly sunny and a high of 63.
Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring
Dating
from Credit
advice from
Karma
our founding
today.
father.
The good news about Centennial Schultz is that you can find out everything you need to know without making a commitment. Dr. Chris Centeno invented stem cell therapy in a clinical setting for humans, and this was many years ago, and he has perfected it. In fact, Centennial Schultz is the best clinic for delivering stem cell treatment, and I've done research before I could say this, and I mean that sincerely. Now he's opened up associated clinics called Regenex. Whether it's Regenex with 2 X's or Centennial Schultz, please do yourself a favor and find out everything you can before going to the fake ones. Mostly the chiropractors are the fake ones. I'm sorry to say that, but that's just the way it is. Please look them up, thestemcellexperts.com, to find the best. Thestemcellexperts.com. 303-963-9201.
Did you know?
Wow, boy, your quote was way off.
What's that?
It's not even close.
Give it to me without giving it to me. See if I get it right.
Go ahead.
Should I tell him?
No.
Ben Franklin on the benefits of dating older women.
Oh, shit. I never even heard him say that.
Go ahead, give your version of it, Dan.
He says, they don't tell, they don't swell, and they're grateful as hell.
Ben Franklin was a witty guy?
That's not what he said, though.
Yes.
He said, because when women cease to be handsome, they study to be good.
You're reading the thing.
Because there's no hazard of children.
Right. They don't swell.
Well, I know, but you put it in a
Paraphrase.
No, someone else did.
paraphrase.
That I told you that. I tell you what, you read his book.
Dan is one of these guys that quotes people, but he paraphrases.
Let me tell you, Ben Franklin was by
No,
far,
but
I think, the
that's
smartest.
Dan, hold on. That was a very clever paraphrasing, if you truly did it. Did you make that up? Or
No,
did
no,
you
no,
see
no, I heard it.
Because that was kind of clever.
I make up things like that.
But here's the thing.
Like that, he just made up. He literally made up the fact that he makes up things.
No, Ben Franklin, you read his book, I mean, he absolutely, he was a genius, absolutely.
David Salisbury, Fix It, Avenue Dental.
It's kind of a boring book, you really see.
There are a lot of, you know what? Einstein was very witty. If you listen, not his scientific stuff and his other stuff, he's made some great quotes.
I got you guys.
I love great quotes.
The best quotations in the world, and they were original, not weird Dan shit. You ready?
Not made up shit.
Yogi Berra.
Of course.
The best.
Of course. Listen to this. I love this one. Listen, you know how you go to these restaurants and you're waiting 2 hours? Okay. Somebody asked him one time, let's go to so-and-so. And he goes, no. He says, that place, he says, hell no, I won't go there. It's too crowded. No one goes there anymore. So I love it. Something about that. Look up the.
I agree.
But you know what? You know how things. Oh yeah, that's too crowded. No one goes there anymore.
He's given directions to his house. He says, when you come to the fork in the road, take it, because you could go either way to his house. He was a genius.
Cool or what? I want to
No,
hear
he's, but he had so many of them.
Yogi Berra.
I don't know.
Yogi
He had
Berrisms.
Berra.
Yogiism.
I got 2 baseballs signed by him. And the guy that had the perfect game. He was the catcher. Yogi was the catcher.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. So filled with gratitude that you trust us to call us for help, and you use referralist.com, and then you really, seek to share your information. If you're a know-it-all, we would love that. We truly do. I want to be corrected. If you hear me say something and you want to add to it, please do it. So what's on your mind today? We solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make referrals. Okay? The everyday thing. So let's do it. And we have a guest today. We have Hank from Colorado Springs. Why you bugging pest control? And that's pretty cool. So,
thanks for having me, Tom.
Yeah, and we've been talking bed bugs on and off the air because it's such a big problem. And he brought up a good point about the heat treatment. A lot of people, they shield the house or they seal it in some way, and then they heat it up for the bed bug treatment. Now, heat is actually probably the most effective way to kill a bed bug and the egg. However, that's if you could get heat effectively to them. And in a laboratory you can, but in a home, what you brought up, Hank, is really smart. You can't assure that 100 whatever degrees is going to get into the cracks and crevices, right?
That's right.
Because where they hide, that heat may not affect them.
Well, there's insulation in walls, and they get behind the insulation. They find areas to be protected from the heat, and it doesn't work.
Now, John, you're next, because this seems to be pretty serious. You say your CenturyLink's been down 4 days?
Pretty much.
Now, John, is this phone, internet, or what, or all?
The phone works. The internet, DSL is down, and
why do you have DSL and CenturyLink to begin with? Just a curiosity.
Well, I guess I don't really know, other than the fact that I've always gotten.
Is this residence or business? Is this residence or business?
Residence.
Okay. And why do you have a landline? And John, I'm not trying to not help you. I will, but I want to get to it because we may have alternatives. Why do you even have a landline?
I guess I'm an old timer.
But in other words, do you have a cell phone?
Yeah.
Okay. And
did you get the Denver Post?
No.
Okay. Hey, John, seriously, and I'm not kidding. Do you have a wife and kids?
No.
Okay. Do you live alone?
Yep.
Okay. Why? And again, if you didn't have a landline, how would it affect you?
Well, I guess the biggest reason I've kept the landline is because I always thought the old phone system was highly reliable. So even when everything else went out, power went out, if you had a reason to make a call, you could still do it.
It's just the opposite. Cell phones are way more reliable. Just the opposite.
So maybe it's changed.
Because all of the equipment for landlines is aging and people aren't replacing it. They're not building new stuff. I'm serious. It's being de-emphasized, whereas cell is. Now, if you use it for broadband, the worst broadband you can get in today's market, other than ISDN, would be DSL. It's hampering you. You can get lightning speed internet way cheaper and more bandwidth, because CenturyLink is not cost effective. Now, I can help you get all that, call them up and give them hell, but John, I'm serious when I tell you, in a day, you can have new broadband and forget your landline. But I don't, how old are you? Come on.
Too old, 69.
Oh, don't tell me that. You're 4 years older than me, man. Oh, you're pissing me off telling me you're too old. Come on, guy. You're not giving up. Do you work out? Do you walk?
Well, I don't, it's a long story.
Okay.
I don't want to tell you the whole thing today.
Okay, but John, listen, I know you didn't call to give an advice, given advice on life, but do you get jiggy? I mean, come on, you can't give up. Let's talk about this. Do you want to explore another broadband and get better service and all of that?
Well, of course, what are we talking about? Do I have to get cabling and different things done?
No. Most of the time you can get wireless.
Most of the time.
I mean, most of the time. And if you can't, everybody has most. What kind of area? Where do you live?
I'm in Boulder, off the east side, kind of, right off 55th Street.
Are you in a neighborhood?
Pretty much.
Apartment house or house?
Townhouse.
A townhouse. Do people around you have Comcast?
Everybody's got some Comcast.
Do you have Comcast?
Only for the TV.
Okay, right now, you can get broadband on your Comcast, lightning fast, do away. You can even get a landline, by the way, if you want it. You can get a landline.
I'll help them make the call.
Listen,
Here's what's
John,
crazy.
we want to help you honestly because, and I know you sound resigned, like, oh, God, why doesn't he just shut up and do what I want? And I understand that, okay? I don't want to be the nosy neighbor or brother who's saying, John, you got to do this, you got to do that. But I'll bet you, and I'm just having fun here, but I'll bet you haven't compared your insurance in years and years and years, have you? You kept the same carrier.
So, yeah.
Who's your carrier?
Shelter.
You didn't call me for this advice, but I'm going to tell you something. If you've had insurance more than 3 years, you're paying too much. Because no matter what, insurance companies don't reward loyalty. In fact, they penalize people the longer you have it by decreasing coverage and gradually increasing premiums. It's called the creep-up syndrome. And what you ought to do, see, I'm like a doctor. You come in for I got a problem with my hip, and I look at everything. And I'm telling you, John, I want to help you with the broadband. I wouldn't even bother. I swear to God, CenturyLink is so outdated and so antiquated that spending the energy to try to get that up and running, you can be out of it, and you can be into better broadband quicker and never look back. If you want us to help, Mark will help.
So let me ask you, with Comcast, I mean, you guys figure Comcast is more reliable
Totally.
as far as uptime and
Totally. For broadband, totally. Than DSL and CenturyLink, there's no comparison. You see, you're of the mind. You're just of the mind that the phone company, that's what we all used to think, John. I'm in your era.
Yeah.
The phone company.
I don't know if Comcast will work with those rotary dials, though.
Hey, John, you don't have to get a landline, but they do offer that as part of a package. Broadband, you already have the TV. They would love to talk to you. And I'm telling you, they're priced great.
Tom, what if he's in a contract with CenturyLink? Hopefully he's not.
Are you in a contract?
I have to look at what they did the last time around.
When was the last time around, so to speak?
Probably about 6 months ago or so.
Oh, no. Damn, I'm hoping.
But let me ask you this:
yeah.
with Comcast,
Yeah.
So if you have if you put your landline number with Comcast, again, it's the same kind of thing, isn't it? If the power goes out, your landline is gone, right?
No, not necessarily. Not if you have a battery-operated phone. That broadband is powered by.
Generally, it is
by the line.
In the cable world, in the Comcast product, at least in Denver Metro, when the power goes out, he's not going to have a landline. That is true.
Oh, in Denver.
Well, in Colorado.
Okay, you're saying then
it's powered by the router, just like ours downstairs in the office.
You're right, because of the router, not because of the cable.
It's technically. Yeah, it's VoIP.
Yeah, technically, it's too. Without getting into it, John, power outages will affect your router.
But who the hell are you going to call when the power's out?
I mean, you have your cell phone, John. I mean, what is this fear about power being out, not being able to call? You have your cell phone.
At some point, your battery's going to run out in your cell phone.
My God, and we're going to have a zombie apocalypse.
He's paranoid.
I think he watches The Walking Dead. I'm saying, John, that. Really? I'm not kidding.
It'll probably save you money, too. I bet their triple play is actually less than what you're paying now, all three.
How much are you paying every month?
I think for the CenturyLink, I think it's around $65, and that gives me the landline and the DSL.
And $65, that's a good price. How much speed do you get with that DSL?
And how much is the TV part?
Well, on the DSL, I mean, the speed is only about 7 megabits.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you single?
Yeah.
And are you a confirmed bachelor? I'm just curious.
I'm just old, that's all.
Does that you're not that old, for God's sakes. Have you heard about health care and age management?
Tom, I've been in it all. Right now I'm suffering from some kind of Parkinson's, so that's part of the reason why things go strange with me.
Yeah.
But
hey, John, we can help you with CenturyLink. We have someone there. We really can. But I really hope You let us help you with other things like your insurance and all of that. And really, I don't even know how you can get. I don't know, John. With that speed, is your porn glitchy? I mean, it seems like what? Well, he's alone. He's old. The poor guy sounds like he gave up. For God's sakes, we got more coming up. Just have some great time. Buy salmon, have fun. I mean.
This report is sponsored by Blue Emu.
Let's start off with the good news downtown. That earlier wreck northbound I-25 at Alameda.
His porn is definitely.
I tell you, I dropped my landline.
What's that?
Years ago.
Because
Because I had the number for 20 years.
DSL.
No, I dropped my landline 15 years ago, and I never missed it from day one.
Dan, you're one of the hip older guys, though. You're not like.
Because I'm jiggy.
It's because you're around me.
But all you get on my landline was.
When you come to a fork in the road, take it. You can observe a lot by just watching.
Here's one that's him. Listen to this. It's not over till it's over.
That's the most famous one of yours.
It's like deja vu all over again.
Yes, sir.
Hey, no one goes there nowadays. It's too crowded. Yep. Baseball is 90% mental. The other half is physical. David Salisbury. He is the attorney for that inevitable law. Wills, estates, probate, estate planning. You can call David if you have an immediate need. David, I need help. Someone just died. Seriously, he'll tell you what to do, how to do it. 720-493-3911. He can also help you to plan your estate. If you want to avoid probate, sometimes you don't need to avoid probate because you have a simple estate. He can prepare a beneficiary's deed. Do things the right way. So many people try quitclaim deeds and all kinds of stuff and end up losing all kinds of tax benefits for inheritance and for estates and for their heirs. So please, David Salisbury, you can find on my referral list at referralist.com. And it's 720-493-3911. For help, 720-493-3911. David Salisbury.
So it's not over till it's over. It's probably the most quoted.
Fix it 24/7.
Which is true. It's right up there with, it's not over till the fat lady sings.
It's totally plant-based and can make you feel better.
And that was said by a man with a very fat wife.
Who loves this thing?
Who loved this thing?
Have you ever been to the opera?
So,
no, but I'm going to go at the opera at Blackhawk.
Of course.
This summer.
Fix it 24/7. Now, let me tell you a story, true story. This house I have under consideration here, and I'm closing. I'm going to say, look, the first thing I said, George, I want you to go through the whole HVAC system. Yes, our home inspector from the referral list looked at it and said, looked at the whole house, right? But now I want George's people, Fix It 24/7, to do an HVAC inspection. They do inspections. And it's a small charge, and guess what? You get it all done, $39 done, and I know exactly what the condition is. I'm having a plumbing inspection. I'm having an electrical inspection. Now, this is beyond the normal inspection that a whole house. This is for specific things, and I know I can trust them. They're honest, and they will take care of everything I need and give me a complete written estimate that you can trust, and I'll never get better value and better parts and better service for the same price ever. FixMyHome.com. 720-526-3939. I know him personally. I know his team. I love the company, and you will too. 720-526-3939. Were you embarrassed by your smile?
So mice is the #1 thing, huh? That you
Mice is huge for us.
I wonder why is that?
And then, I'll bet you he'll say bed bugs.
The environment in Colorado Springs, just all the open areas and all the seed and everything, natural food sources for them.
Which means we can handle.
Hey, I got a cabin up in the mountains.
No free advice.
No.
Charge me.
But I put peanut butter on a trap for mice because I had a cigar down. I got a little on my clothes space. I keep my beer. But they were eating, like, say, the cigar. So I put these traps, and they would. They lit
peanut butter off
without hitting the trap.
So
mice can do that?
The way to do that, is take a piece of thread, like sewing thread, cut you a piece about that long, wrap it around, and then put the peanut butter on, and they'll sit there and pick at the thread.
Oh, okay. Or maybe I should get one of those traps that glue. Is there like glue?
The glue board, yeah. Sometimes though you're dealing with a live mouse screaming in the middle of the night.
I've killed mice before.
Yeah. I don't use glue boards for that
You
reason.
don't, because it's inhumane, you think?
There's that, you know, customers certainly see it that way.
Okay.
And then they want us to come pick it up.
Oh, good point. Good point.
Anything you want to ask in all the.
But so you think the mice can actually lick it off?
They do, absolutely.
You know, when somebody dies, oh my God.
So I do got some mice.
When you find out someone's an addict.
Mice are pretty smart, you know, to be so small. And you put a trap, you know, it's like you walk into a room and there's a trap that's the size of you. You're going to stay away from that trap, no matter what it is. It's new, odd. Then after a while, it sat there for a few days. They went up close to it, come back, you know, they're like that. And then they get used to it, then they'll eat off of it.
I'll try the peanut butter thing or get one of those.
Do the thread. Do it. It works every time.
Holy cow. Thanks for the free advice.
Every now and then I get into a situation where
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right. I'm sorry I didn't take this call, Mark. I'm sorry. I hope you're still on. I didn't see your name up there. It just because of this call screener. Mark, are you still there?
I am.
Okay,
I am.
good. You have a comment on this homeless thing we've been talking about, the issue. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I wanted to give you just a little kind of heads up about California. So their law states that you know, if it's public, like a park or a sidewalk, you can kind of put up your home there.
That's what we hear.
And so what's interesting is in the last few months, there's been a lot of homeless that have been moving into like Venice Beach area, Santa Monica.
Yeah.
And I was just a couple weeks ago, I was reading a story on what's his name, Johnny Rotten. He's the lead singer of the Sex Pistols.
Yep.
So, you know, very liberal guy. And he was complaining that he lives in this multi-million-dollar house. When he drives when his gates open up, there's literally tents and homes along his sidewalk. And he says he can't even go to Venice Beach anymore because the homeless defecate in it and there's needles in the sand. And he's like, well, we got a problem here. And what I just think is, you know, the wealthy and the powerful who make these decisions on to, hey, let's just make these rules, let's open up everything to everybody, they're all fine with that until the homeless start encroaching on their area.
Well, that's what we said. It's always that way. I mean, if it gets right down to it, do these people want it right next to them? And the ones with big estates, seriously, I'd like to ask one of them, why not open your gate and allow people to camp in your yard? You have a giant yard. You know, some of these have 5 and 10 acres. Why not?
I agree with you.
Because no one actually does what they preach.
I would ask them, why do they even have gates? They don't need a wall or anything like that.
Well, I know, but ask them. Especially, see, this is where they come full circle, where they're with their hypocrisy. The same thing with diversity. People don't really mean diversity. They mean diversity within my acceptance. Within, like, in other words, you can be diverse on things within the acceptable thing, but you can't be outside of that. Diverse means as long as you don't disagree with me. Diversity of people with the same political views, not diversity of thought, not diversity of ethnicity is easy, you know, but if you're Clarence Thomas or you're Condoleezza Rice, you're not really black. You know, it's like, it's really weird. Politics transcends everything. But if you're politically in agreement, then they like the diversity within that subsection. Rob, what's going on? Rob?
Oh, yes. How you doing?
What's happening, man?
So, I think I have an easy question. Of course, everyone starts out that way, right?
Yeah.
I have a 2004 Tahoe.
Yeah.
Z71 with 57,000 miles on it.
Is that a Z71 you said?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm moving overseas this summer, and I want to sell it to a private party, but I am not sure how to price a car like this. I've been told by a number of folks that it's kind of a unicorn. I mean, it's a 15-year-old car with 50,000 miles on it, and I don't want to leave money on the table. Yet
Right.
Kelley Blue Book and the NADA, my understanding is those are based on comparables, of which there really aren't many with this low miles.
That's
and the model
right.
year and everything else.
You're right.
So, what are your thoughts?
Well, you do what you have to experiment. I mean, when it comes to buying and selling, it's market toleration and acceptance. That's all it is. When you go beyond the normal criteria, okay? So you have low miles or it's long or it's this or it's that. When that happens, you then have to price it accordingly. But there is no magic formula. So what I would look at is 2004 Tahoe Z71s, period. Okay? Now, what are they retailing for normally?
I mean, well, normally they all have 250,000 miles.
I understand that. So what is it? The average mileage would be, you're saying 200,000, or would that be the high miles? What would be the average mileage technically, or not technically, but average?
Average, you're probably in the 150 to 200 range.
Okay, then take those, and what is the average price they're asking for those? Get an idea.
They're $7,000.
Okay, then what I would do is now go to the ones that have your mileage that are, no matter what age they are, okay? And I'd get about 5 or 10 of those and get an average, right?
Okay.
So what would they be? Just roughly, do you think? With that mileage, how many miles did you say? 51?
57.
57K, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what would ones be with 57K, regardless of age? Now, I'm just saying, what would it be?
They're probably in the 18 to 20.
Okay, you're saying in all vintages or the newer ones? In all vintages?
They're newer, and you're not going to find one.
No, I understand that, but you will find some probably, 2015 or 2012? What?
2015, 16.
I would go to the oldest I could find and get a few from each year and then average it. Now let's say that average comes out to be 15, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you have the 7,000 for the low end, and you have 15 for the high end, and I would go smack dab in the middle. That's the way I would do it.
Okay.
And that's where I would start, and then you tell them why. The very first thing you say is rare find, extra low mileage. Okay, that's the very first thing. Rare find, extra low mileage, and that's where you start. You're not going to get the 15 because of the age, and you're not going to get the 7 because of the mileage. You want something dead smack in between. And remember, you've averaged the 15, you averaged the 7. Make sure the 7 is accurate in the 15. You want the ones of the same years and vintage, then you want the ones of the same mileage. You average those both out on each end, then pick smack dab in the middle for your retail. Mark?
Blinker will give him a black book price.
Yeah, but they're going to give him a bad price because he's got an 04 with only 57,000 miles. And they won't... Don't they restrict what you can ask for a car?
No.
I thought they did.
No. They just give you suggestions based on what their, algorithms say that you can sell for.
Yeah, that's true. They can estimate it too, Rob. Blinker.com.
And it's a great way to sell it.
And it's an app too.
Yeah, and you can get financing done. That's why you do it.
Yeah, but by the way, if you advertise it on Blinker, no matter how you price it, Rob, no matter how you price it, you will get people who can now get financing on that app. Blinker.com, and it's also an app.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Because he said if Trump is ever elected, I'm going to leave the country with Barbara Streisand, and he's finally getting around to getting the hell out of here.
Network stocks are higher for a third consecutive session. The state
Guys, I want y'all to know I enjoy the show. I listen to y'all every day.
Oh, cool.
I really enjoy you guys.
I'm the brains of the operation, and the good-looking one. Dan is kind of, well, you've got to meet Dan. We still don't quite have that. We don't really know what he does.
Don't have a term for me.
Declining by 16,000 to 212,000. And Microsoft and Sony are.
And then Tom is aging.
Focused on improving the customer experience and artificial.
I enjoy Tom's different levels.
Adversaries as they make the two top video consoles, and now Sony will use Microsoft's cloud for streaming games and media, and the two companies will collaborate to stream games and
Let's see
content.
where Walmart's at now. Bam! Look, I took all my profit right up here this morning at around 103, and now it's down to 101.
Is that we?
Yep. The royal we.
You don't want to miss
Get it?
I tell you, de Blasio coming in like this, I mean,
Who is he? He was a New York guy.
Mayor.
Thankfully, they're already on the way out.
He's the one they busted sleeping all the time on the couch with the door open.
He was the one that wanted to quit selling sodas.
He did. He didn't want to. They quit selling the big gulp sillies.
Call 800-410-6744.
They were thinking of something else with, was it cigarettes or something?
Oh, making it 21.
Yeah, it was something weird. Actually, I don't disagree with that. I think cigarettes, those fucking lobbyists that have petitioned for people's death should be killed.
For what, Mark?
People's death? I mean, why are cigarettes legal? Why? What else is like a cigarette? They cost us all a ton of money. They fucking lied their asses off saying they weren't addicted for, what, 50 years. Hey, I smoked for a while. Hardest thing I ever did was give up smoking.
Tobacco is what it is because it helped build this country.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot.
It's a big export. But I mean, all you do is go to someone who died of lung cancer.
It's a horrible way to die.
Horrible.
Truly free.
Or are we short?
Yes.
Is it a short
Free
spot?
credit monitoring from Credit Karma today.
I just can't. I like it. I do not like those 30s. Why is she doing 30s?
I book hers.
Yeah, Dr. Kelly, Mark, honest to God, you were just.
Well, because they're in the third hour, I know we can,
Okay. But is it substantially cheaper?
Tell me, early 2000s for $300 and decided he wanted to be in the granite business.
yeah, there's only 3 a week, so you know, she doesn't have many.
Countertops.
I'm surprised it's hard for you to quit. You don't seem to have an addictive personality.
Well, I quit, okay, full disclosure. The cigarettes weren't too bad to quit, they were hard. But then I chewed the stupid Nicorette for fucking years. Years! I just switched one form of nicotine to another.
I think I have a very
Your material, your edges, your sinks,
No,
and
you don't
cabinets,
drink.
and that's a small markup from the manufacturer. Always
He drinks in moderation.
But, I mean,
Well, why do you even say that?
I don't know, because I think.
Give one thing in your life you're addicted to.
Watch a TV show.
Okay, that kind of thing. Or I get a certain food and I eat it forever. You know, I eat it forever, then I get tired of it and I go to another one. But how do I put it?
I don't know if that's an addictive personality, though. When I think of, like, her sister's second husband, I don't know what number she's on now, they told me,
I don't mean it.
they said if he had, I never believed this until I saw it, if he had 1 or 2 beers, he simply couldn't stop, he'd have to drink until he was fucking just like passed out.
A lot of people do that.
But I thought it was all bullshit until I fucking met the guy, and sure enough, man, I mean, it was that to me, it's a fucking problem. It's crazy, man.
You trying to do it? Hey, I got a couple beers for you.
They were out here, and I brought him out. I said, let me buy you a beer. You know, 3 hours later, he's fucking shit-faced.
God, I love this. Baseball is 90% mental, the other half is
50%.
physical.
No, I'm always wondering, did he just do that? Or was he that bright that he could come up with those?
I always go to people's funerals, otherwise they won't come to mine.
But he said,
Do you think he did it by mistake?
that's what I'm saying. Was it by mistake or was he just so brilliant?
I made way too many wrong mistakes.
But it's not over till it's over. I bet you that's his #1 quoted yogiism.
You know, I knew my record would stand until it was broken. Have you heard of it?
That's a good one. I knew I had the best record until it was.
And I didn't realize he said this. What I thought I thought it was just a joke. Cut that pizza in 4 pieces. I don't think I can eat 6.
I've heard of that other people saying.
Yeah, me too. I never. Is that really? You wouldn't have won if we beat me.
And I'm telling you, it's amazing, this home scouting report, and you even have something.
I usually take a 2-hour nap from 1 to 4.
I think you got hit by one too many balls, maybe.
I know what he means. 2-hour nap sometime.
Pause that real quick. I just gotta have a real quick conversation. Of course,
Never answer an
Mattress has
anonymous
4
question.
layers of pressure-relieving foam for healthy alignment and extra support. Try a Casper mattress risk-free for 100 nights. Go to Casper.com now and enjoy free shipping and returns on mattress orders. Additional fees may apply for Alaska and Hawaii. Terms and conditions apply.
Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center has given
me tremendous relief in my life. They can do the
I'm
same
not
thing
in a
with
slump. I
people
just
with
ain't
hearing
hearing
loss. It's accompanied by tinnitus, which is.
Did you hear that, Dan?
Yeah, no, it's hey, so you really have 2 baseball? You don't have the baseball that Don Drysdale threw the no-hitter.
God,
No.
This one I love.
There was a
Future
bunch.
ain't what it used to be.
Drysdale, before he died, signed a shitload of balls. I met Yogi Bear in Vegas. His son-in-law was there. No. They had access to all these Drysdale balls, and Yogi would sign them right there in front of you. So on each ball, I bought 3 of them. I gave one to somebody. I have 2 at home. Each one has both of them, and this was probably.
Hey, if people don't want to come out to the ballpark, nobody's going to stop them. But if you think about it, he makes complete sense.
Oh, I know.
I swear to God, I understand
well,
that.
He makes sense.
Like this one. The future ain't what it used to be.
Yeah.
I know what I mean. We used to think of the future, and now when you think about it, it ain't what we used to think about it.
I'm not sure I followed that one.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Okay, now listen. Joe has a comment on car appraising. I want to make this clear. I was not appraising that car. Okay? I was pricing the car. Okay, Joe, go ahead.
Tom, Edmunds.com, that's with a U, has a great appraisal tool on their website.
Very cool. For unusual things, too, like extra low mileage and stuff?
Yep. You put in the mileage, you put in your zip code. It's a great, so you can take a car like that with incredibly low miles, and it gives you 3 prices. It gives you private sale, it gives you dealer, what you can expect from a trade-in from a dealer, and it'll also tell you what you can expect to pay if you went to buy that car from a dealer. So it'll give you 3 prices: dealer retail, dealer trade-in, and private sale.
Thank you, Joe. And it's Edmunds, right?
Edmunds with a U, E-D-M-U-N-D-S, Edmunds.com. It's a great appraisal tool, and you want to write that down because when people call in with appraisal questions, on these insurance claims, they want to total my car and they only want to give me X for
right.
it. Edmunds.com is a great appraisal
Thank
tool.
you, Joe. Appreciate it. Isaac? What's going on, Isaac?
Hey, Tom.
What's happening?
So, allegedly, I went through a red light and got a photo ticket sent to me.
Yeah.
Now, when this ticket was sent to me, the person in the picture, allegedly me, ducked down, and you can't even see the person's face.
Yeah, and what?
So, yeah, they sent me a ticket. I just ignored it, figured if they're going to serve me, they're going to serve me. They actually went through the steps of serving me. I got served just a few days back. And
Yeah. I tell people, if you ignore them, it can go a few ways. One would be service, and then you can't ignore it.
So go to court. Now what?
You can't ignore it, Isaac. You have to go.
Yeah. So I figure, obviously I don't want to spend a lot of money, get a lawyer and do this, but the fact that there's no one in the picture, if I go to court, shouldn't it just pretty much be thrown out?
Well, first of all, I'm not gonna try to give you legal advice here, but what I'm going to tell you is this. I'll tell you what I think if this was a movie, what would happen, and somebody wanted to be smart or stupid, however you define it. Let's say Isaac would go and say, I plead not guilty. And then there would be a little, well, were you driving that day? How would you answer?
I was
How would you answer?
That day.
Is this were you driving at this moment?
I cannot recall.
Okay. See, I wouldn't recall. You can say yes or no. You don't know. And you don't say anything more. So I would say, if I wanted to outsmart someone, I would say, you see, they have the burden of proof. I often let people borrow my car. I don't recall driving that day. I don't recall this. I don't recall this. I don't recall this. I don't recall. You don't want to commit perjury, but you gotta do it the smart way. I don't know your circumstances, but you don't have to volunteer information. They must prove it was you. Now listen, most likely when you get to court, they're going to take you out in the hallway and try to make a settlement with you. That's what's going to happen.
Now, if your picture was there, and this is for other people, and it was obviously you, sometimes there's a fire truck or ambulance behind you during a red light.
Sometimes there is.
And you're forced to move.
So,
anyway.
but the fact that there's no one in the picture would lead me to think that the best way to approach this is, many people drive my vehicle, and
Right.
I don't know if it was me that day or
That's
not.
right. That's right.
Or
There's no way to
it wasn't
know.
me. It wasn't me.
Yeah. I mean, you can say anything you want, Isaac. I'm not going to tell you what to say, but you can say anything. Listen, let me put it this way. The burden of proof is on them. Was this Commerce City Police that issued the ticket?
Yeah, Commerce City.
Because
all you got to do is drive over the state line.
I know.
Or the
city
county line.
Commerce City, they're funny. The Commerce City Police Department, I don't even think of police. I mean, first of all, the police wouldn't show up. Who would show up there it would be on behalf of the city.
Just the attorney.
You sure it was on the city street, right? It wasn't a state thing? Does it say the city of who's versing you? The state or who is it? The city?
The city.
Okay. Well, then they're stupid, so that's one good thing.
Just tell them you're not there.
The burden of proof is on them. Okay, Isaac? And so it's not as easy as you might think. I mean, it depends on how far you want to take it, because they're going to scare you and say, look, if you don't take this plea and you go to court, here's the maximum penalty, and you can be assessed with court costs and jury fees. I'm telling you, you could end up paying $1,000 or more.
The fact you own the vehicle doesn't mean that you're guilty of speeding.
That's right.
Although,
yeah, they can't prove anything.
On E470, just for people listening, if it doesn't matter. If the car is registered to you, it doesn't matter who's driving, you're paying the toll.
Why is that, Mark?
I have no idea.
Well, because they're tolling the car.
Yeah, that's right, not you.
Yeah. And on this one, this is not a toll. See, tolls are assessed against the car, and it's much like a water bill. Even though somebody doesn't pay a water bill, it's on your property. You're going to pay it. So anyway, let us know what happens. But, Isaac, when you get there, there's still a chance to settle. Okay?
Okay.
Almost always. Almost always. Laney, what's happening?
Tom?
Yes.
It's Laney, your old friend.
Yes, I recognize the name, and I've never known anyone with the name, so it must be you. So what are you still doing? Are you still doing mortgages?
Nope, I retired. I think I should come to work for you now.
Yeah, well, you know what? That wouldn't be so far-fetched because you did a great job. What's going on?
Well, I loved volunteering down there. Okay, so I have a problem that only you and your listeners can probably solve, because I've tried my best and I've failed. I have a dear, dear friend, and his partner lives with him.
Yes.
He would be homeless otherwise. He's been with him. He was fine for a few years, and then he's been there. They live in a trailer out in Lakewood somewhere, and his partner has gotten, I think they call it agoraphobic. He just flat.
How old, Laney? How old are they?
30s.
Okay, and one of them goes in and out and has a job, and one doesn't.
Yeah. One of them, who's my friend, works at the place that I used to work.
And do they
he's a
live?
great
And
guy.
where did you say they live? In a mobile home? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. And so a couple lives in if I had to sum up a mobile home, one of them is agoraphobic.
Right.
Okay.
And he should be on disability. And they've gone through all of the steps to do it, but the only thing that's keeping them back is they need a doctor to give them a diagnosis.
Right.
But he won't leave the house to
You mean
do
a
that.
doctor like a psychiatrist, or is the disability something else?
I don't know that.
Well, is he claiming disability based on the agoraphobia, or because I'm not sure that's going to count as a disability, or is he doing it based on something else? Do you know?
I think they have I think he has a few different things going on.
And he will not go to see a doctor.
No, he can't. He doesn't leave the house to do anything.
No, I understand. That's a terrible affliction.
I know.
And by the way, easily overcome, but I won't. That's a whole different story. Some people refuse because
Yeah,
they
and that's
don't,
him.
in other words, they don't want to be helped. They want it just the way it is. Usually it follows something traumatic. So when did this happen?
I'm not sure how long it's been going on. I worked. I've
You
been
don't know
working
what the
with this
root
partner for
cause
quite a
was.
while.
He
No.
just all of a sudden, though, it didn't just happen one day. He probably started having panic attacks.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, there's all kinds of treatment for this guy, and that's why I asked if this is why he's going for disability. He might have a really hard time because you have to be able to not secure any kind of employment whatsoever, and they can argue he can do telephone work. Otherwise, if you go to his home, is he charming, open, and everything?
I have not met him, but I assume he is.
Listen, hold on. Just hold on.
This report is sponsored by Credit Karma.
Travel around town.
You can get a doctor to go to the house and give him a diagnosis.
For free.
No, they didn't say that. And that he can't go there. Because he
I
can't
thought
leave.
they said he's homeless living in a trailer with somebody.
You don't do Denver at all, correct?
Wouldn't that be free then? Or am I crazy?
Okay.
But we do Franktown. I do
But you're right. I mean, what's to stop someone from saying, hey, I'm afraid to go outside? Send me a check. Seriously, I don't get that.
Thunderstorms this afternoon with a high of 84.
I'll tell you the worst thing for anxiety, you know what it is? Fucking anxiety medication. It'll make you more anxious.
But
Period,
also,
end of story.
But also, Mark,
Credit monitoring.
it's the fear of
Credit
fear.
Karma today.
That's what it boils
Download
down
the
to.
Credit Karma app now. Credit Karma. Here's to
Years
progress.
ago, years ago, I got on some of that.
Let's talk about Dr. Kelly and Avenue Dental. Now, Dr. Kelly is Suzanne's dentist, and she's had some beautiful cosmetic work done. Now, she also happens to be a certified personal trainer. Now, the reason I mention this, I want you to look at it on Instagram at Dr. Kelly Fit Mom of 4. I know that's long, but just really look at it. She has a lot of followers, and she does workout videos that are free, and she specializes in abs after babies. She actually has a program for that. Now, why am I talking about that if she's a dentist? Because I want you to get to know her. She's really a cool person. She does great dental work, and you'll see her passion. Just go see it. Instagram at Dr. Kelly Fit Mom of 4. At Dr. Kelly Fit Mom of 4. And of course, if you're looking for dental work, including a $59 exam with x-rays and a cleaning, what are you kidding me? Yeah. AvenueDentalStudio.com, 720-240-4740.
Your local Rocky Mountain sod growers want you to know that installing sod in your yard is an easy and
As
efficient
far
way
as
to add
consumer
natural
stuff,
beauty
she
to
used
your
to
home.
volunteer for me. She wants to volunteer again. She would be like a deputy Clint.
She's done everything?
Information. What's that, Mark?
She's done everything? Like,
No.
Clint?
No, but really, Mark, it will be an asset. We should do it.
Learn more by visiting the
You know, in New York, there was a guy that sold stereos called Eddie. You remember that, Mark?
Crazy Eddie.
Yeah. This is a
Classic
crazy deal. Crazy Eddie. I had to look that up. I don't know where it happened. But now we got Crazy Mark Machowski at Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. I'm serious when I tell you this is the best offer in the transmission business. I've never, ever dreamed of anything like this. And here it is, okay? He will literally take your car and give you a free transmission diagnosis, not just looking at it. He will remove the transmission, open it up, lay out the parts, and give you a full, complete diagnostic. What if you don't want to have the work done? No charge. What if you want to take it somewhere else? No charge. What if you just decide, well, I'll do it myself, no charge. If you have them do it, still no back charging. It's free. Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair, free transmission diagnostics, 303-781-9858. 781-9858.
If you sell a home for $500,000, how much would this guy kill himself?
I happen to be looking up something, and I read across this actor. I don't even know who he is. He apologized to Trump and killed himself.
Thousands of homeowners are making the switch to Rex. With Rex, you get a dedicated agent and a full-service experience at a fraction of
Around
the cost.
7:30, it's for fun.
Rex uses game-changing
Oh, this looks like it would be fun.
and save homeowners tens of thousands of dollars in fees.
Homeless
Keep
Jeopardy.
by calling 833-REX-HOME.
Look at these guys. It wasn't Robert De
See,
Niro.
that's when I like when you did stupid
Why give an insane amount of
Homeless
extra
Jeopardy.
agent? Rex offers the lowest fee in the industry.
What is a half-eaten hot dog?
lunch.
Oh, look at all the trash in front of the set.
By calling 833.
Look, they're all negative. Oh, they're all negative.
That's 833-REX.
I wish I could hear what they were saying.
976010. Minimum fee applies. If you're doing any home
Homeless Jeopardy for food.
Is the place to go for cabinets, countertops, sinks, toilets, faucets, and more. Below wholesale price.
Math.
4,800 Washington.
Howard, I'll take famous couples for one.
But it doesn't do it justice. Buyandbuild.net.
A square has how many sides? And he misses.
Minus 2200. Damn, are you sure about that? What if it's a square circle?
A circle has how many sides? The current president for 100.
I want you guys to pair up in threes. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Tell people about it. Referralist.com. Hey, Ty. What's going on? Ty? Okay, he hung up on me. So, I don't know why people do that. They call, and I think, I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe,
You're intimidating.
No, it's not that. I think they get some kind of, they think they're disconnected or something. Hey, Bob. And anyone can get through right now. 303-713-TALK. We only have 3 minutes, but you can get right through. What's going on, Bob?
Hey, I've had Quest, CenturyLink, you know, they've gone through their name changes over the years.
Yes? What about it?
Yeah, I've had them for many years. You said you have somebody at Comcast that you talk to, but, you know, I'm just tired of Comcast offering these deals you get for so long, and then they'll raise the price on you after those limited time periods.
Well, everyone does that, you know, offers. And, you know, CenturyLink went a step further. They made offers and out lied to people. So what
but they've gotten better on that, but it was rampant.
Yeah. What do you need from us? Or you just want to sound off?
Comcast.
What's that?
You said you know somebody at Comcast.
Yes.
Help people.
Yeah. What do you need? What do you need?
Internet.
Not get a better price if they have an actual legitimate problem. We have an angel.
We have an angel. We call them angels. When we get in, when we have people at companies that can help us with problems, if you have a problem, we can help you. No, I can't get you a better price. I just said a better price than CenturyLink. Brandon, what's happening? Brandon.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on, Brandon?
Hey, how's it going, bud?
Good, man. What's happening?
Not much. Hey, big fan.
Thank
Hey,
you.
I got in an accident on last Friday. Both vehicles were totaled. The other guy's at fault, and he doesn't have insurance.
Oh, well, do you have uninsured motorist?
I don't think so. I just have basic insurance through the general.
Uh-oh. You probably don't have it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it was a 95 4Runner, so I wasn't really trying to put too much more money than I already did into it.
Do you have MedPay?
I'm not sure what that is.
Well, medical payments.
Oh, yeah. I went to the ER.
Yeah, but do you have medical payment coverage that'll pay for that?
I don't think so.
Oh, man. Can you get your policy declaration page and let's look at it? I really want to know what you have and what you don't have. What was your question? And assuming you're correct and you don't have any coverage and this guy doesn't have insurance, what was your question?
My question is where do I go to now at this point?
Nowhere. If truly, Brandon, you have no insurance.
Yeah.
And
no, he had no insurance.
Oh, excuse me. He has no insurance, and you have no uninsured motorist coverage of any kind.
Correct.
There's nowhere to go except after him personally. But if he's a hopeless deadbeat, you get a judgment. You'll get a judgment. In fact, you'll get the state to issue a writ of restitution, or not a writ of they call a reimbursement some kind. It might be a writ of restitution, whatever it is. It follows him. He has to make payments, or he'll never get a license again. And you should follow that through to the full extent, for sure. Okay, for sure, do that. And then
who do I call to
Well, he was issued a ticket, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now
is that he wasn't. So his insurance company called me 2 days later, telling me that he wasn't insured.
Wait a minute. Did he issue a card at the scene?
Yes, he did. He gave them a number at the scene.
Okay, you need to investigate this, Brandon, because now this is different than what you told me. If he lied, or if he has a lapsed insurance, you can go back and have that ticket amended to include no insurance. You contact the officer. You really do. You have to do it and insist on it, because then they will order restitution. Now, if you need more information, you can, Suzanne, if he needs more information, we can have him back tomorrow. But, Brandon, it's easy. Contact the officer, have him amend the ticket. I don't know why he had an insurance policy if he didn't have one. We can figure that out. But first, get that complaint amended. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget Bug and Pest Control, and we're out. Adults who have crooked teeth and always wanted to deal with them, there is a way to
do that. Dr. Kent Lawson has pioneered new orthodontics for
It was nice meeting you, man.
Nice to meet you guys, too.
Thanks for free advice.
Listen, if you don't know where you're going, you may not get there.
That's right. If you ever, where do you go? Denver Metro?
Me? Yeah, I'm going to Colorado Springs.
Oh, is that the only place you work out of?
Oh, yeah. We service
Who goes north?
Pueblo. We do the entire Pikes Peak area,